go. 6:04, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing. We're back in the friendly confines of the 180 Pros studio. Starting you off at 60 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge for your Thursday morning. Oh, my word. Can we get Mardi Gras over with, y'all? Can we get to Lent? Can we get to a little bit of fasting and a little bit of sacrifice? Can we get the 50th king cake of the season out of the kitchen downstairs?
I have so much king cake at my house, but here too. I walked in this morning. I'm like, why do we have yet another king cake?
We called it off at the house. We sampled a number of the king cakes that, Mathern's brought in the all-star lineup. We sampled about as many of them as we could. It's an early Mardi Gras, and we still called it off with about a week. But here, there's king cake, and there's little mini bundt cakes.
People keep showing up with bundt cakes and king cakes, which is fine because it's delicious. But
no, this morning's choice was Ambrosia Bakery has the
Zulu,
which is really nothing more, because I had a slice. It's really nothing more than a Boston cream with shaved coconut on top. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, no, we need fasting. We need sacrifice. I need Lent to get here quickly. Oh, my word. I need some ashes. I need it all. All right, we got a busy show for you. Haggai Davis could be in for a cup of tech gumbo coming up less than half an hour from right now. We're going to talk live after 5. No, it's not back just yet, but will be very soon. Jay Hover going to join us at 7:15. 8 o'clock hour, get ready for this. This is going to be a huge blitz, okay? We have a number of Republicans that are teaming up with the Sierra Club. Going full tree hugger here. We're going to talk about that. Desiree Lemoyne from Industry Makes going to join us. We need to talk before we get to our legislative session, we need to talk about the state of where we're at when it comes to lawsuit abuse and what can be done as we continue to keep our foot on the gas there. Lana Venable from Louisiana Lawsuit Abuse Watch going to join us at 8:15. And then qualifying continues, y'all. Qualifying is open in the district. Well, actually, qualifying is open for all the May 16th races. Sammy Wyatt is running in District 5. He will join us at 8:35. But we start every morning with top stories and trending. Day one of qualifying for the May closed primaries is in the book. So far, only one person is qualified for the U.S. Senate race on the Republican side. That is former Congressman John Fleming. On the Democrat side, you got one competitor as well. Jamie Davis from Faraday, Louisiana, has signed up. Qualifying will run through Friday. I want to say Cassidy's signing up today and Julia Letlow tomorrow, but I could be wrong about that. I don't stake out outside of the whole, outside of the state archives to be there for them to sign up. Leave that to the news crews with the cameras, right? Republican State Representative Mike Eccles of Monroe has entered the race for Louisiana's open 5th congressional district seat, joining a growing GOP field. A contractor, a real estate developer, and a conservative radio host, Eccles brings legislative, local government, and business experience to the contest. East Baton Rouge Metro Council voted yesterday evening to approve a library tax and put it on the June 27th ballot. The proposal, if approved by voters in the summer, would continue a $9.5 million property tax. It was approved by the Library Board of Control in December and introduced to the council back in January. My apologies, y'all. We're keeping with councils. We'll get back to the EBR Metro Council in just a second, but let's move over to Ascension Parish, where the Planning Commission voted to deny the application for Harvest Fields, a residential development that would have connected a proposed subdivision to a dead-end street in the Woodlandshire community. The commission voted 5-0 to deny the application. Eric Jones and Wade Scheck-Snyder abstained. East Baton Rouge Metro Council voted yesterday to take an item off its agenda that would remove Councilman Cleve Dunn from its role on the Greater Baton Rouge Airport Commission. Councilman Dwight Hudson, who submitted the measure, said he introduced it due to a, quote, an alleged breach of fiduciary duty based on documentation from a felony indictment. The measure was listed as an introduction for the February 11th meeting. The vote was 9-1 with Hudson voting against taking the item off the agenda. I'm going to talk about this coming up at 6:25. I have so many questions. What you got, Braylon?
Well, more on this story. A pair of gloves was found on the side of the road in a search by authorities investigating the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie.
They don't know if the gloves are connected to it yet.
Yeah,
Like, so they're found like up the road. Like, can you imagine like if like somebody just walked, halfway up Government Street and said, "Oh, look, here's gloves. We're going to connect it to something."
Right.
But it's all the rage now. They kind of look like the gloves the guy was wearing in the video. Okay. I guess they kind of do.
Right. Every day there's something new coming out about this. And then with the new things that come out about this, debunks another conspiracy theory. Or it's just, this whole story has just been
Well,
wild.
how about keeping the cards close to the vest, though? How about that for an idea? How about don't talk about an ongoing investigation? How about not giving the bad guys out there the tip that, oh, hey, this is where you screwed up? I mean, normally when you see an investigation that doesn't involve a Today Show host's relative,
it's very close lips.
Right, because you have a better chance of why would you want to tip off the bad guys? If you're breathing down their necks, if you're getting closer and closer to them, why would you want to tip them off? You're right outside their apartment. You don't like, hey, we'll be by in about 10 minutes. No, it just, I don't need the minute by minute update. I don't need every piece of granular evidence update.
Well, and for the most part, which we're doing the show while the Today Show's going on, but from what I've been reading, the Today Show's been covering all sorts of news topics, but now this is all they've been talking about.
Right. Well, and that's hard too, though, right? Because as a member of the media, you're not the story. You don't want to be the story. The story changes when you become the story.
Correct.
And I think there's a huge problem with that on the national scale where, here's a perfect example. The View wants to be the story.
Yep.
And that's why they're not like, that's what they're completely without respect. Well, that and because they don't respect anybody else, but like they want to be the story. That changes the nature of what the story is. So,
more to come.
Yeah.
In Florida, multiple people in Sarasota and Fort Lauderdale are dead in what police say is a cross-state murder spree committed by the same suspect Wednesday morning.
Okay.
So we got a serial killer going
possibly
on? Okay.
Possibly a murder spree that like this. It sounds old school, doesn't it?
It sounds like one of those stories you would hear about from the 80s.
Right.
And all the husbands would tell the wives, don't go anywhere.
Right.
And we would hunker down. Yeah.
I know.
It sounds like something that, from way back when. And then we watched a documentary about it today.
Right. There will be on Investigation Discovery.
ID. Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff.
So I tagged you in this yesterday, Brian, but I'm sure everybody was blowing you up.
You weren't the only one to tag me.
We've got to invoke the shark alligator rule this morning.
Yes.
Ernst.
Yes.
Has now been spotted off the coast of Louisiana. The 1,000-pound great white shark has recently been seen off of Alabama and Mississippi's coast as well. But now he's here.
Right. So southeast of New Orleans. So not like when you say Louisiana's coast, Ed made it all the way, not over to Lake Charles. But great whites don't usually come this far across the Gulf, though. I don't know what it is about the water pushing out of the Mississippi, but they'll turn tail and go back the other way. This is crossing a threshold here that they're not usually in.
Don't we only, and you know more than me, but we've only had a handful of great whites that come this far. Maybe one or two.
Maybe, not even a handful. Yeah, maybe one or two. We got to get O-Search on the phone. I've been putting this off too long.
But now he's here, so you got to get him on the phone.
Well, here's the thing, though. O-Search names the shark Ernst, and New Orleans has an Ernst Cafe.
Come on.
So she's just coming home. She just wants to visit the namesake. That's all.
She wants to eat.
Right?
She wants to do some Mardi Gras and some king cake.
Just Ernst Cafe, like about a block or two away from the casino?
You know what would
by
be
the convention
cool?
Center, yeah.
Without going down the rabbit hole, but Ernst Cafe should come out with a drink and have a little shark on top. On the straw.
Absolutely.
Market this. Why would you not?
1,000-pound great white shark.
I knew it. When I saw it, I said, I'm tagging Brian. But his phone was probably blowing up already.
There were a few. There are a few. By the way, if you're scoring at home, it's tagged up near the Chandeleur Islands, or pinged near the Chandeleur Islands. That's where Ernst was. So, by the way, hang on. This is going to get fun. For those that have followed the show for a long time, this very same shark at about this, about 4 months ago, 5 months ago, it pinged off of Mahone Bay. Mahone Bay is off the coast of Nova Scotia.
Oh,
and
so
off
she's
the
been
coast.
traveling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So for those of y'all who have followed the show for a long time, you know where I'm going with this. This shark went from Oak Island to New Orleans.
I'm missing something here. I'm missing context.
You haven't heard of the Curse of Oak Island?
No.
Oh, the treasure?
So
the treasure hunter?
So give me
Rick
some
and Marty
context.
Lagina? You don't know about that? Oh, no.
Nope.
Okay, I tell you what. There is an island off the coast of Nova Scotia.
Okay.
That is rumored to be like the source of all every treasure that's ever been hunted for in the history of the world. It's been rumored that it's buried somewhere on Oak Island. There's these two brothers from Michigan, Rick and Marty Lagina. They have spent the last decade now digging up this island in every form or fashion, and they'll find like a button from a Revolutionary soldier or like a coin from a Roman times. And it's these little bitty specks along the way, and they keep finding a little bit to keep you dialed in, and the History Channel keeps pumping it back out every single year. Oh, it's
so
terrible.
Ernst knows some stuff.
Ernst went from Oak Island to New Orleans.
All right, what does he know?
That's what we got to find out.
Ernst. I called him Ernest at first.
Yeah.
All right, so we won't have much time for sport.
How much time?
Like 1 minute.
That's fine. I can get it done. Y'all, as soon as hey, Facebook, I know Byron's been around long enough for this one. Who else has been? Because I bailed on Oak Island. Christy knows. I used to be obsessed with this show.
Okay.
I was completely obsessed with the Curse of Oak Island, and
I never heard of it.
Oh, it went like by about season 7, I bailed, and I'm like, this shit again, like History Channel, and they're still going. They're still digging up parts of the island. I'm like, if you haven't dug up the whole damn island yet, then, but so the legend goes, 7 people must die before the treasure can be found. That's the legend, right? 6 people have died. Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay. I'm gonna have to catch up on the show. And
you can watch seasons 1 and 2 and then skip ahead to the most recent season, and you'll be perfectly caught up. There's so much bullshit that goes on. I think Hulu. Yeah, Hulu. But yeah, Oak Island.
No shit.
It's so.
Because when you were talking like contents here, Brian, I have 0 clue. That's interesting.
Well, so think about my target demo: 35 to 60-year-old men.
Yeah.
History Channel's their wheelhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, but I should know about this because I love news.
Well,
I'm a news guru. I'm a geek, so I should know this. When I came in this morning, Carl had this board all messed up. He had everything in offline. He had selectors 1 and 2 out of program 1. StreamYard was.
I want you to know. Okay, if that happens again, you take a picture of the board, and we send it to Cade because that's bullshit. We don't do that. Right. No, he's here to push 1 button or 2 at the most. Because you don't need that jacking up your morning. You shouldn't have to diagnose and problem solve every time he comes in to figure out what he effed up.
Like this side of the board, which you should probably never touch, like Adobe. Yeah, everything on Adobe was pushed. It was even an offline. I'm like, how did you ever have Adobe in offline? And then Selector was out of program 1. I know. But I studied the board because when I walked in, I'm like, all right, this ain't how I left it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Carl was probably here. Hey, Haggai, good morning. Yeah, we're actually don't even have a minute.
All right.
We have to go. You want to do it?
I'll just tag it. Fan Fest has been moved inside for the LSU women's basketball game on Saturday night. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about LSU baseball being weather tentative, all that in just a little bit. Here's the Fox Business Report. Betcha Haggai knows it. Haggai knows Curse of Oak Island. How have you never seen it, Haggai?
Yeah, Ernest. Oh, so you heard the whole thing. Okay. I had no idea. I was like, contest, Brian. And he goes, what?
I'm not into conspiracy shows like that. That's just...
It's history. You get a little taste of every piece of history. You get a taste of, Shakespearean England and the Templars and early America and the Revolutionary War, the French during the Revolutionary War. It all ties in. It all brings around. There's little history lessons within there. The potentials of what treasures it could be. That's just
Byron. Brian's teaching me everything this morning. I had no idea. No idea about all this. I was like, you got to give it to me.
So yeah, Mahone Bay, like where Oak Island is, Mahone Bay is like a half hour south. So, well, it's an actual bay. So no, oh yeah, the waterfront road is lined with little homes and dive bars. Right. It's all. No, it's like rocks. If that. Mm-hmm. And rough and deep right all the way up to the shore. So, but like Oak Island, there's a little bit of beachfront on Oak Island. You can walk out a little bit, but I wouldn't recommend it. So do I. It's misleading, inaccurate, ill-advised when. Right.
I'm not in her voting district, so I'm not going to vote for either.
You ready, Brian?
Yeah. All right, let's get on back to the traffic center here, see what we got going on to start off your Thursday morning. If I can get my map to come back up. There we go. All right. We're going to start you off on I-12 westbound as we normally do, because there is actually very little to report this morning. I-12 westbound is the normal, slightly heavier than the normal delays. If you're in between Jubin and Range, you are going to be hitting the brakes a pretty good bit. After Range, though, is where it picks up and continues to be smooth sailing all the way into till you get to the 10-12 merge. It's just that stretch between Jubin and Range. That's your only problem on 12 West this morning. 10 West coming in from Ascension's great. 10 East coming in from West Baton Rouge is great. And there are no incidents to report on our surface streets this morning. We're actually looking really good surface street wise. That's really good traffic from the Talk 173 Traffic Center. .623 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. LSU women's basketball slated to play Saturday night against South Carolina. Should be an absolute raucous environment inside the Maravich Assembly Center, provided people want to brave the weather, because the weather on Saturday is going to be brutal. LSU men's basketball going to play a couple hours before that at Tennessee. By the way, all your LSU women's basketball is right here on Talk 107.3 FM. We've got you covered. But we encourage you, get on out there. Go see the game. Be loud. Be very loud. Coach Bulkey and her Tigers need your efforts to get over the hump here. They're not the best record against South Carolina. In fact, I don't know if Coach Bulkey's beaten South Carolina since she's been here. But, I mean, we can help make that happen. Be a part of the action and get these Tigers over the hump on Saturday night. Meanwhile, over at Alec Box Stadium, it is going to be LSU baseball. I'll tell you about that in just a second. Let me first remind you, in the heart of all that, you got Mathurns right there on campus, y'all. The Saturday, you're going to have, Friday you'll have baseball you tailgate for. Swing by Mathurns. It's actually an early start tomorrow. What is it? A 2 p.m. first pitch tomorrow. So if you don't have if you don't have all the tailgating set and ready to go, just swing on by Mathurns. Grab yourself a couple of trays of boudin balls or chicken wings or whatever you want to fire up before baseball at the box starts off. And then, of course, Saturday, you got the box, weather permitting, and LSU women. And then right back there Sunday and Monday, LSU baseball will be playing. Talking about this number 2 baseball squad, our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network caught up with Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball. He says the Tigers are going to be dangerous at the plate. Sophomore center fielder Derek Curiel especially has positioned himself to have an even better second season at the plate, putting on 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Cut 16, please.
I think as good as Derek Curiel was last year, I think there's more power generation coming in his frame. He worked really hard in the offseason and gained strength. I think he's in a really good spot there.
Third baseman Trent Caraway was one of LSU's additions in the transfer portal cycle. Caraway hit 267 with 12 homers and 47 RBI for Oregon State last year. Rogers says he's going to have plenty of success for the Tigers this year.
I thought last year there were some times late in the season for the Bees. He kind of showed that superstar potential. And if there is one person who can unlock that offensive potential from Trent Caraway, it's Jay Johnson. And so circle Trent Caraway. I think he's going to have a very big season for LSU.
So what about on the bump? Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson, they're both gone this season. One of the best arms in the nation, sophomore right-hander Kason Evans, is back this year. Evans had a 5-1 record, struck out 71 over 52 innings last year. Rogers says Evans will solidify himself as the next great Tiger pitcher.
I think this is a guy that in some really high leverage situations last year, he pitched at a very high level. I kind of think back to Cincy series, and he pitched so well there at the back end of that series. And so I have a lot of faith in him to be that bona fide Friday guy.
First pitch tomorrow on Eagle 98.1, 2 p.m. I believe it's a scheduled 1 p.m. start time on Saturday, but y'all, I don't have a whole lot of faith that anything's going to happen outdoors on Saturday at all. As I'm looking at the day-by-day forecast, we've got there's a 20% chance of rain today, a 20% chance of rain tomorrow, a 95% chance of rain on Saturday. And if you scroll through the hour by hour, if you scroll through the hour by hour, it actually, well, you know what? That might not be the worst as I look at it. Yeah, it is a day game. It's looking like later at night. Okay. This is pushed back significantly from yesterday then. Sorry, Haggai and I are chit-chat about the weather. This pushed back significantly from where this time yesterday, it was like right in the heart of the game. It is what they were looking at. So, all right. Hey, I'll take that as a win. See, this is why we don't bank on the weather when it's still more than 48 hours out. All right, good deal. It is 6:28 to talk 107.3 FM WBRP. I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to do my level best to squeeze a take in here. We had it top stories and trending. East Baton Rouge Metro Council voted yesterday to take an item off their agenda that would remove Councilman Cleve Dunn from his role on the Greater Baton Rouge Airport Commission. Councilman Dwight Hudson, who submitted the measure, said he introduced it due to an alleged breach of fiduciary duty based on documentation from a felony indictment. Long and the short of it is, and I'm paraphrasing, but Councilman Dunn is accused of stealing $50,000 from cats, right? I mean, that's the basic premise of the felony indictment. So the measure was listed as an introduction for last night. They voted 9-1 to take it off. Dunn was indicted on counts of both bribery and money laundering, so not theft, but money laundering and bribery, along with public contract fraud, illegal split commission of commodities, and malfeasance in office. I got to wonder, why do you pull that off? Why do you pull that off of the Metro Council agenda? That baffles me. I know there's legal reasons that I probably don't understand. Councilman Dunn is innocent until proven guilty. Absolutely. But he's also accused of malfeasance in office and bribery and money laundering. And we're still going to leave him in a position where, as a public official, he's in charge of other monies? I don't know another scenario where erring to the side of caution allows the person who can do crime to continue to do crime, potentially. And again, Cleve Dunn is only accused of crime. He is not convicted of anything. He is innocent until proven guilty. But let's say there's a police officer on the beat who's accused of roughing somebody up. He's going to be pulled off the beat until the investigation's over with. He's going to be suspended with pay or put on modified assignment until that investigation's over with. If that scenario happens, the erring to the side of caution is removing the accused from the potential of doing wrong again. There is no other scenario where the accused is going to sit in that same spot with the same power, with the same authority, with the same possibility of completely eroding the public trust in the future. I don't get it. Make it make sense. 6:30, news, traffic, weather. Haggai Davis in for a cup of tech gumbo next. And by the way, don't come at me with the legalese, Facebook, because I already know the legalese. I just disagree with it. I do understand it. It does make sense, but it doesn't make sense. Just because you're accused of something, there needs to be at the minimum temporary repercussions. There needs to be a standing down. Accusations, while there are not convictions, accusations have consequences. Ask Lyle Collins.
Brad David said, "Damn, Brian's pissed."
Oh, I am pissed.
So, on the show this week, Fred Trahan was one of the
Yeah, I saw that.
he was asking about you.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him, you know, to-
That's cool. Like that, they are on the cusp of that capability.
Yeah.
Like
Byron, you made jokes, but I love World War II and the Roman Empire and all that. Not every woman would run out of a restaurant. No. And not to be morbid, when I say this, I enjoy the history of the Holocaust. Not that I love the Holocaust, that's morbid, but the history is just, it's sad, but very intriguing.
There's no way to start and finish that sentence without sounding awful. You did your best, but there's no way that anybody can start.
I love the Holocaust.
Oh.
So, okay, y'all joke.
You
Y'all joke.
in your brown suits and
So, y'all joke. Okay, y'all want to hear a story. We're in a high-end
No,
restaurant.
Adolf, you drink it first.
We're in a high-end restaurant for our very first anniversary in Dallas. They have a Holocaust museum in Dallas. So we're in
They
this
do?
yes. And I'm looking for things to do. And I was like, oh, Scott, I was like, they have a Holocaust museum. I love the Holocaust. And I said it just like that. And the table behind us got, And I looked at Scott and my face got white as a ghost. I said, I didn't mean that. And he
But
goes,
it was going that way anyway.
yeah, well, and he goes, I know. And I said, can I fix it? He goes, no.
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 No, at that point, you put down the shovel and stop digging.
Y'all for real? And it was loud because y'all know I got
And-
a loud mouth.
And that's when you got the invitation to the Hitler Youth Movement.
Right.
So good.
I had a first round to play with Daniel.
Oh, good.
Going very well.
Good. All right. Kill. 636 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is Thursday in the 6 o'clock hour. You know what time it is? It's time for a cup of tech gumbo. Let's go. What happens when you give a 4-star general an LSU football jersey?
Good things.
Good things happen. Haggai, how are you, brother?
Brian, I want you to know how dedicated I am to being here for a cup of tech gumbo. I left Milan, Italy last night to be here, being the first alternate on the men's curling team.
Oh, man. Curling was last. I missed curling?
Yes.
Damn it.
They'll get curling every night.
Well, yeah, I know, but I only like watching when it's us.
Oh,
So-
no, there was men's curling last night.
All right. I have watched maybe 30 minutes of the Olympics overall.
I haven't watched a whole lot either, but when I have, it's either been the curling or the downhill skiing.
I love the curling.
oh,
Absolutely. I did see Lindsey Vonn crash. Poor thing.
Yeah. I saw the highlight of it.
That's yeah. I've seen the pictures for her in the hospital and whatnot. Apparently next she's going to go run a poker game in Manhattan, and then Aaron Sorkin's going to write a movie about her.
Nice.
Right? Not really, but that's Molly's game.
The memes I saw that she's going to be at the Paralympics next month, kind of thing.
Oh, that's so wrong.
I know that's bad.
Oh, that's way worse than what I said. Goodness gracious. All right, back on task.
Yes.
Cup of Tech Gumbo. You had Greg Trahan or Trey. Is it Trahan or Trahan?
Trahan.
It depends on what side of the Mississippi you're from.
It's up the bayou or down the bayou.
Right.
Yes.
So Trahan was on with you. He's the assistant vice president for
Strategic
research partnerships. Okay.
Yes.
Over at LSU.
Yes.
He had himself a really good Washington Mardi Gras because in DC, that dude was wheeling and dealing and moving LSU up the charts faster than Lane Kiffin was in the transfer portal.
Look, the things that LSU's been doing over the last several years, and we've had Greg on the show 3 or 4 times now. The things he's bringing to LSU with his partnerships with for-profit businesses with the U.S. Army, with the National Security Agency, with all of the cyber research that is going on at LSU. You can stand, if you're an LSU alumni like we both are, stand up and be proud of what LSU is doing.
Unbelievably so.
This is, I mean, yes, we all love the football team and the baseball team and women's basketball, but
wow, shots fired at McMahon. How about it?
Oh, is that who the coach is?
Stop.
Yes. What LSU is doing, especially with Greg's leadership, and also Dr. John Blake, who's the assistant vice president for research.
Yeah.
And he's a professor of chemical engineering. The big things that they're bringing into LSU, the partnerships, the research, the funding for dollars to do these research and to get students, and not just graduate students or postgraduate students, like undergrads are getting involved in this research, as well as the faculty. They are doing amazing things.
Now, I don't want to go into details because I legitimately don't know how much is.
Well, you need to have him on the show. And
he's been on the show before, and we've been in contact back and forth a little bit, and he's going to come on the show again because at the end of the day, he's just a good interview.
Oh, he's great.
He's just really good content. And then on top of that, this is amazing news. But I want to be able to make sure that I can sift through all of it.
Sure.
I don't want anything that's still embargoed or off. I want to make sure that all of it's on the table here.
There's
because when you talk about the LSU, when you talk about the U.S. Army Cyber Command, when you talk about developing technology on that front, you're not just talking about putting up a wall to keep people out. And when it comes to the future of the Army, you're not just talking about learning how to fly a drone. There are so many more worlds to this that it's chapter after chapter after chapter of a book that is going to be written in this state.
So on Tech Gumbo over the years, we've talked about different stories like this, and we've said it in the past. The future wars are going to be fought with ones and zeros, not bullets and bombs.
Yes.
And we brought that up with Greg, and he said, yes, you're absolutely right. The you look at just the places where when we've had bombing attacks, the first thing we do is we strategically take out the radar units and everything.
Right.
But we do it through cyber first, and then we bomb the crap out of it.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about, putting people from LSU, Louisiana students, in the Army Cyber Command.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we're sending people to go to work to do research at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, at Argonne National Laboratory, and they fool with nuclear energy and kind of chemical research. And so the things that we talked about we did the whole first segment of the show, 22 minutes with them. It is fascinating. Yeah. And strongly encourage you to listen to the show this weekend. Grab the podcast when it comes out next week. These guys have really, really put LSU in position to. We're a world-class research university already.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg even talked about it. If you think, oh, that's just LSU, they're not that good. The NSA thinks we are. The NSA has us as a top tier, the highest research when it comes to cyber. There's only 4 other universities in the world that NSA deals with.
Yeah. For
cyber research. LSU is lead on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
right. Well, no, it's forget about, tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. It's tie a purple and gold ribbon.
Absolutely.
It's like, hey, where's little Johnny? Oh, he's off fighting Iraq. Oh, when's he coming home? Oh, he's in the back room right now. He just shut down their nuclear program from the toilet. This is where we're headed.
We're sending students for internships to Oak Ridge, to Oregon, to the Cyber Command. The Cyber Command folks, the Army is coming down here to be a part of what's going on LSU's campus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, harken back to the days of the old war school.
Right. The new war school.
Very much so. And so
we got to start selling them on these phrases. Tie a purple and gold ribbon, the new war school. We got to get Greg back. Yeah, we're going to bring him around here. We can market this.
Yeah, one of the things he's also now doing over there is he's in charge of all the intellectual property for LSU. So there you go.
Okay. All right. Put on a shirt. We'll put it up in 929 Misfits. Put it up on our shirts, please.
So part of the press release that he sent us to talk about, they brought some game-worn LSU jerseys.
Yes.
To these as 3-star and a
So,
4-star generals.
Yeah.
And so the word got back to him that these generals have been walking around the base with these jerseys, these LSU jerseys, and they're so fired up.
They are. Yeah. And so, and all right, I don't want to reveal like too much, but he and I had this conversation. And you know what my first question was, right? Game won by who?
Oh yeah.
You're not going to give it a 4-star general Jordan Jefferson's jersey for the first half of the national championship game.
But talk about a good play. I mean, you bring in, and I said, well, I asked him, I said, well, what about next time we get him some baseball jerseys?
Let's go.
And he was like, oh, that's a good play. Yeah. Considering 8 national championships.
I'm here for it.
You
I'm here
think?
for it. But they're, the fact that they're on board, the fact that this is in motion.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, how the Army moves from a paperwork standpoint and a contractual standpoint, once you're in motion, you don't reverse course. We're not in a position of like this folding tomorrow. Like
right.
when you hear an economic development deal and like things are in motion to move somewhere, there's always a possibility that markets could shift or things can go south or companies can go bankrupt. This is the U.S. Army.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't change. It only moves forward. Hang on. We got a break for just a minute. Before we take that break, let me tell you about the folks over at Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com. Been an absolute institution in South Louisiana since 1897. I need to be more specific than that, though, because it's not just South Louisiana. It's individual communities. If you go to LandmarkBankLA.com, hit the About Us tab, you'll find where those locations are because they are a community bank. I'm not expecting in downtown Baton Rouge to have the Landmark Bank in Zachary be worried about me. I expect Zachary to worry about Zachary. I expect Denham to worry about Denham. I expect Bruley to worry about Bruley. And that's where their greatness lies, is knowing who they are, who their customers are, and where they're headed, how to help get you across the finish line in your personal banking, in your business banking, making sure your goals can be achieved. This is what they do over at Landmark Bank. If you go to landmarkbankla.com, look up where their individual branches are. They are a member of your community. You're a member of theirs. Learn more at landmarkbankla.com. My name is Whitney Allen, and my husband died. I don't sound any way emotional about that.
Yeah, like I'm so over. Yeah, my husband died. I'm, the bastard left me with nothing.
Hang on, we got a break. Yes, it doesn't change. It only moves forward. What happens when you have a 4-star general at LSU? So, I cracked him up pretty good with that one. He says game worn jersey. Worn by who? I say,
yeah,
Al Woods, Braden Fajoko. I mean, we're covering a lot of ground here.
No, it was Wickersham.
Do what?
Wickersham, Alan Wickersham.
Right. No, well, now you got a really old jersey.
Falling apart.
I mean, I'm sure the 4-star generals stay in shape, but you're not giving them Jamar Chase's jersey.
I think there were jerseys from this year. If you go back, did you pull up that article? Or I emailed you the 2 links.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Jack Mashburn.
Whoever 26 was, I think, was one of them.
Barn.
No, he wasn't.
Cracking me up.
What's the 2025 roster? That's this year's roster. You're not going to have a game worn jersey from this year. I want to know who wore it last year. There you go. Me neither.
There was no sweat on it, so it wasn't a problem. We can give that one.
He's had this jersey for safety Quad Wilson in 2024. and Cowan Hilaire or Hilaire, whatever.
There might have been multiple people wearing.
In 2023, it was worn by Ashton Stamps. So that would be a game worn jersey. The others would be a sideline worn jersey.
Oh, they had them on. They were all laundered before they were given.
I would hope so.
Because they changed the name on the back for them.
Yeah. But what? I don't think. I don't think we had a guy named Argon.
So where you want to go next?
The other LSU link. The energy one.
Okay.
Good morning, Christy. I don't know if I said good morning yet. So I've been listening to this podcast called Business Wars. I'm wearing out on it quickly. It's on the one side, the host is starting to lean into his each business war is a season. I'm 31 seasons in, so that's like 31 different wars. Like Dunkin' versus Starbucks is what I'm on right now. I've done Elon buying Twitter, Facebook versus was it Facebook versus Instagram? I think anyway. There's been multiple ones, right? Or maybe it was Facebook versus Twitter. I'm not sure which, but I'm 31 into it right now. And the part of the podcast is they try to pull conversations that people had, like Lee Iacocca talking to his board, but it's the host doing it, and he tries to put on a voice. It's so terrible. Like, there was an episode on Donald Trump. And like early Trump, like when he was, still loved by everybody, he tried to do a Donald Trump impression. Well, this Dunkin' Donuts one, he keeps trying to do a Boston accent and a Pacific Northwest accent, and neither one's working. And I'm like, just hire somebody. You can find somebody in Boston and be like, dude, I'll give you a case of Sam Adams if you'll read this. Cup of Tech Gumbo continuing right now as part of Mornings with Brian Haldane. We got Haggai Davis in the house. We're talking about the other LSU big win from up in Washington, Mardi Gras. But I do want to reserve some room for that AI boosting creativity for some people, but not others. I find that unbelievably intriguing. So we'll get to that in a minute. The Cyber Command one was a big announcement from LSU. The other one was LSU signing research agreements with Argonne and Oak Ridge National Laboratories. And this isn't military. This is Department of Energy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Walk me through a little bit, because I learned a lot less about this one. I saw what was happening with it, but Argonne and Oak Ridge aren't really, that's elsewhere.
Oak Ridge is just outside of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Right.
And Argonne is just outside of Chicago. And this goes along with the Idaho National Labs as well, where we have agreements with those guys. That, again, this has been part of what Greg and his team have been doing, along with Dr. John Flake, and who's the vice president for research and a professor of chemical engineering at LSU. And so what these national laboratories are doing is they're wanting to do research at LSU and on chemicals, chemical engineering, on nuclear energy, on kind of becoming a little less dependent on the petrochemical industry up and down the river, and a little more dependent upon chemical energy. Because
really,
yes, well, because gasoline, as Dr. Blake said, the dependency on gasoline has leveled and almost kind of started going down. But the request or the need for chemicals, for tennis shoes, for laundry detergent, all of those types of things, that is still going up.
Right. Well, not to mention the overall need for energy is on the rise
The
too.
all of the data centers that we're building, the need for batteries to store the energy that's created.
Yeah.
All of these types of things are stuff that Oak Ridge and Oregon are going to be doing with LSU. So LSU is sending students for internships to these national laboratories for research. They're finding full-time employment after graduation to these national research laboratories. These national research laboratories are coming to LSU to be part of the research on campus.
Yes.
That's huge. I mean,
but here's the part though that this is why I prioritize it the way I did, is the Cyber Command thing brings everything home to LSU. This announcement between Argonne and Oak Ridge expands the brand outwards.
oh, absolutely.
Expands the brand outwards, but isn't necessarily going to build jobs on the short end here. In fact, if anything, it's going to build more jobs for.
No, it will bring jobs here, because as we're developing more energy-based or chemical-based jobs here in Louisiana, because of this research, that does bring more jobs back home.
Okay.
I mean, when
I'm here
when
for
you
it.
have these petrochemical plants or these plants up and down the river that need energy to, if you're doing one of the cat crackers for a gasoline plant, and another one is a plant building or doing, different types of chemicals, they have different needs for the energy. If you can synergize the way that energy is formulated and dispersed, that's a win for us.
Okay.
And so as more chemical needs or in newer chemicals, new types of products and resources that come about because of the chemical research that was going on at LSU and at these national laboratories in collaboration with LSU, this is a huge win for LSU. Again, stand up and pat yourself on the back over there on campus, because you guys are crushing it.
Yeah. Gotta love it. All right. We'll get Greg on in very short order. I promise, probably next week. It's
good.
He's
great.
With the way the calendar plays out this year between early Mardi Gras and early legislative session.
Yeah.
I get jammed up and like there's only so many hours in the show. So that'll be on, like I said, as soon as is humanly possible. In the meanwhile, there's another topic I want to cover this morning and make sure we have enough time for it. The headline reads, "Why AI boosts creativity for some employees but not others." Harvard Business Review, their summary says, generative AI is transforming workflows, yet its impact on employee creativity remains uneven. New research reveals one explanation. AI boosts creativity primarily for employees with strong metacognition, the ability to plan, monitor, and refine thinking. These individuals strategically use AI to expand knowledge, free cognitive capacity, and break fixed mindsets, thereby fueling creative ideas. Leaders should pair AI adoption with metacognitive training and design workflows. Bye-bye. It goes on from there. But I wanted you to elaborate a little bit on the difference between who it sparks their creativity and who it doesn't, because this was actually the keynote speech yesterday from LABI's annual meeting.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so AI is we've said this many times. AI is a tool, and it's how you use the tool, how you learn how to use the tool. Not everybody knows how to use a hammer. Not everybody knows how to use a shovel.
Right.
You would think it's pretty easy, but some people are better at it than others.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with this AI tool. Not everybody, you can't just sit down in front of ChatGPT and all of a sudden become an expert on how to use AI. Whether it's Claude or Gemini or Perplexity or whichever LLM you want, you have to learn how to use it. And some people are going to use it in a creative way, using Sora to build videos. Some people are going to use it to run numbers. I mean, and it's how your brain works, how you're wired to use different types of tools, how you do things differently. No one does everything the exact same way.
Right.
And that's what this article is trying to say, is that using AI is it's a tool. You have to learn, you have to get trained, spend some time with it, go to YouTube, go to a class, sit down with somebody who is a whole lot better at it and learn from them, because you have to learn how to use it that's going to best benefit you.
One of the things that I've been picking up on, Haggai, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you have to be willing to be stupid.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Like there's a level of humility you have to have in order to say, I know nothing walking in. I'm a blank canvas. Let's go.
Help me learn how to better use this.
Absolutely. Catch your full serving of Tech Gumbo Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 4 p.m. right here on Talk 107.3 FM or wherever you get your podcasts on demand. Always appreciate it, Haggai.
You bet.
Here's news. That snuck up on us. I had more. Yeah, this guy, Jonathan Brill, he's a business futurist. Forbes ranked him as the #1 business futurist in America. He gave the keynote speech yesterday. It was all about AI. Now, if I'm being completely honest, he hit a lot of broad topics that, like, it was all a lot of hat, no cattle. But his overall points, while broad-reaching, were also accurate. So,
well, I would imagine in a room like that, you can't get too drilled down. You got to stay at a
in a room like that. My guess is 80% of the people have done more research than he gave us in the presentation, and we're craving what's next. You know.
Well, part of that article talks about how only 26% of employees are using AI.
Yeah.
And a lot of these, the boardrooms are saying, "Hey, we want AI. What are we going to do with it? What do you need it to do? Oh, we want AI. Why? Well, we just want AI because we've seen all the commercials.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what to do with
oh
it,
shit! I wanted to talk to you about Super Bowl commercials too.
Oh yeah,
there was a lot of AI in Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah, the Claude when we talked about it, that's one of the articles. Those Claude articles about, hey, there's ads coming to AI, and that goofy blonde who went off and was creepy kind of thing towards the end, that pissed the people at OpenAI off. The CEO of OpenAI, he was tweeting like, "That's not really accurate. He got his panties in a wad."
Awesome.
But Claude is, and so Claude is that's the LLM that's going to work right now.
Yeah.
OpenAI is trying to figure out what the hell they're doing.
Well, they need to stop being so damn open.
They're trying to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Hey, we got Sora, we got this, we got that. And Claude is, in one of the articles, Goldman Sachs has sent some of their engineers to go to Claude and spend 6 months learning how to better use this to bring this back to Goldman Sachs.
You know what I'm loving about AI? And I told when I had Jonathan Brill on the show yesterday, I asked him this question: are we done with the age of the disruptor?
No.
Disruptor? We're not?
Mm-mm.
I think AI is going to kill the disruptor.
The
disruptor wants to take the numbers, flip them on their side, and do something completely different. The disruptor wants to shake things up. AI is going to tell you how to shake things up without abandoning your business model.
I think AI is going to change the disruptor. It's not going to replace. There's still going to be disruptors. It's
disruption by its very nature has a lack of data built into it. Disruption by its very nature thumbs its nose at trends in order to set the next trend. We're going to see trends move at a slower pace. Believe it or not, these trends will move at a slower pace because they will be adaptive to what's already in the algorithm.
I think because the way people they're so far behind the curve of how fast AI is moving that you're still going to see a lot of people, as 3 years from now, when the light bulb goes on for them, oh, that's what it's supposed to be doing with it. Because it's going to take that long for them. The way people talk about the internet now, how it's just it's a part of our life.
Right.
You go back 25 years ago and it wasn't that way. 10 years from now, AI is going to be talked about the same way that we talk about the internet today. But it's going to take that much longer.
Yeah.
Right now, AI is still a buzzword in all the commercials.
Well, yeah. But what I'm saying is, as it moves more from, as that 26% moves to 40%, and that 40% moves to 60%, the need for that, gunslinger cowboy, I like to flip things on its side just to flip it on its side, is going to go away because why would you lick your finger and stick it in the air for a weather forecast when you have a Doppler radar right next to you? That's the difference. Like the disruptor sticking his finger in the air, the Doppler radar is the AI. That's my. I'm saying because it's so far advanced, because it's so far another. We have no need for someone to try to randomly predict it any better than they would predict lottery numbers.
If you
Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing as I'm back in the friendly confines of the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. Learn more at 180pros.com. We're starting off your 7 o'clock hour at 60 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. All right. Live after 5 is, we're not back at it just yet. It'll be a little while before the spring series starts up. But I want to talk about the long-term viability of Live After 5. I want to talk about how folks can get more involved in Live After 5. This has been, close to a 20-year run of a gem of a free concert series downtown. If you look around the country, all the best places around, when they look at quality of life, they have this on their roster. We have it on our roster. But our city parish has to be an adult for a little while and deal with the actual budgetary issues that we have. So everyone's going to have to tighten up a little bit. Jay Hover's going to be in here with us in our next segment, and we're going to talk about what that looks like in real life, what that looks like when it comes to, I don't know, maybe morphing the way it's handled, maybe selling more sponsorships. Maybe you own a business out there and you want to put your name behind Live After 5. We're going to talk about all of it. We're going to, like the cowbell sketch, we're going to explore the space. Also this hour, Crime Stoppers coming your way. Don Coppola is going to be in. We'll see if we can't catch some bad guys. Right now, though, top stories and trending. Boop. Burp, boop. Snagging this one from our news partners at WBRZ. They just posted this up a little while ago. Central Community School Board voted to lower the overall school tax rate for the 2026 tax year at their meeting earlier this week. The board set a total millage of 55.69 mils at the Monday meeting. That new rate is shaving off 0.65. It's a 0.65 mil decrease from the previous year's rate. Yeah, I know that's not a huge decrease, but look around. Having your taxes go down in any form or fashion is probably a good thing. Day 1 of qualifying for the May closed primaries is in the books. So far, only one person has qualified for the U.S. Senate race on the Republican side and the Democrat side, and one on each on the Republican and Democrat side. On the Republican side, it's Congressman John Fleming. On the Democrat side, Jamie Davis from Faraday, Louisiana, has signed up. Qualifying, I believe, opens back up at 8 o'clock this morning, runs through 4:30 this afternoon. Actually, qualifying runs through 4:30 tomorrow evening. Republican State Representative Mike Eccles of Monroe has entered the race for Louisiana's open 5th congressional district seat, joining a growing GOP field. A contractor by trade, a real estate developer by trade, and a conservative radio host by trade. Yep, Eccles does a lot of things. He's bringing legislative, local government, and business experience into the contest. He is, like I said, part of a growing field. State Senator Rick Edmonds from right here in Baton Rouge is in that race. Misty Cordell's in that race. You got a stack of people in there. And like we said, 2 more days to qualify for it. East Baton Rouge Metro Council voted yesterday evening to approve a library tax and put it on the June 27th ballot. The proposal, if approved by voters in the summer, would continue a $9.5 million property tax. It is worth noting that when Thrive EBR rolled around, the library said they could survive off 8.3. That would be with some cuts, but that's where they had the number last year, late last year. But it's back out to 9.5 without Thrive. Pardon for the rhyme. It was approved by the Library Board of Control back in December, introduced to the council back in January. While we're talking about the EBR Metro Council, they voted yesterday to take an item off their agenda that would have removed Councilman Cleve Dunn from his role in the Greater Baton Rouge Airport Commission. Councilman Dwight Hudson submitted the measure. He introduced it as by saying there's an alleged breach of fiduciary duty based on documentation from a felony indictment. Yes, Cleve Dunn is innocent until proven guilty, but he has been accused of a number of things: bribery, money laundering, malfeasance in office, you name it. He's got a stack of indictments coming up against him. 9-1 was the vote. They pulled it off the agenda. Oh, what you got, Breland?
Well, the story is still on Nancy Guthrie. A pair of gloves was found on the side of the road in a search by authorities investigating the whole kidnapping of her.
And the gloves looked like the gloves that were in the video.
Right.
Yeah.
The Nest camera video.
The Nest camera video showed those fantastic close-up of the gloves, as I'm sure that, they weren't moving around very fast on the video. The perpetrator likely held the glove up to the camera so you can get a good look at both sides to see make and model and size and all that other good stuff, and it matches the ones that were found on the side of the road. Or did they just find a pair of gloves and were making a whole lot out of nothing? I don't know.
It could be anybody's gloves. I mean, it's just every couple of hours, a new piece of this story starts to unravel.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like that.
Oh.
Let's see. In Florida, multiple people in Sarasota and Fort Lauderdale are dead in what police say is a cross-state murder spree committed by the same suspect Wednesday morning.
This is an unbelievably frightening story. Like old school serial killer vibes.
The kind that back in the 80s and the stay-at-home moms didn't do anything and husband leaves for work and they're like, you don't go out that door at all.
Right.
Kind of thing. And then they have a documentary about it 20 years later.
Right. Or, now we'd have a documentary in real time.
Right.
We'd have the doc would be out already. It'd be on Netflix and they'd call it Who's Next. I mean, it's
I haven't heard of this, though. Multiple people in Sarasota, in Fort Lauderdale, same suspect.
What are we talking? That's about 3 hours away, 4 hours away. I don't know my South Florida all that well. I know my redneck Riviera. I don't know my South Florida all that well. Yeah. I know enough to know that Sarasota's on the Gulf side and Lauderdale's on the Atlantic side, but like distance from one to the other, I'm guessing. But like for the authorities to be able to pin these on the same person, right? To know
that's
that, like,
scary. Yeah.
But that level of communication, that's where I'm going with this. That level of communication is actually rather impressive. Now, knowing every stop along the way in a 4-hour drive or a 3.5-hour drive, however long it is, every stop along the way that's got to be matched along with that. Because if you've got that stretch of road or that stretch of distance, what's the likelihood that there's not already more victims that haven't been found yet? Right? Like, yeah. Somebody contact, I don't know, Fort Myers or something, see what's going on.
Yep. All right. So here's another one. The shark alligator Ernst that we've been talking about. So
hang on. You left one word out of there that changes the whole thing.
I know.
The shark alligator rule. Ernst is not some kind of sci-fi channel morph between a shark and an alligator.
But he is famous.
We have a rule on this show. If there's a story about a shark or an alligator, we report on it. So,
all right.
Shark alligator rule.
We've got to invoke the shark alligator rule this morning. Ernst, he is famous. I had to lead with him.
Yes.
Has now been spotted off the coast of Louisiana. This 1,000-pound great white shark has recently been seen off of Alabama and Mississippi's coast as well.
And now by the Chandeleur Islands, making his way closer to New Orleans. Dare I say, we might see Ernst make his way towards closer to the Mississippi, perhaps. This is farther west than most great white sharks get. So if she continues to make her way, Ernst is a she.
Oh, whoops! I've been calling it.
Here's where I'm really coming in with this. If you think shark in the Gulf of Mexico, you might think next step, shark in the Mississippi River, right? Based off of where these islands are, the next step might be shark in the Wrigley's, great white in the Wrigley's.
What?
And then what about great white in Lake Pontchartrain?
Stop.
A great white can't survive in fresh water, but what about brackish water? I don't know.
Lake Pontchartrain?
Can we? Yeah.
Well,
No. Look, I know I'm probably totally wrong on it. Like we're talking Sci-Fi Channel stuff here. We're talking, like this would take a lot to get this done. But the likelihood that you could be driving,
if it could be done.
I mean,
yeah.
maybe not the Causeway, but the Twin Span.
If she ended up there, this would be a huge national story.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! You got to get your folks on the phone. I want to hear
I
all about
I know.
her.
And I haven't talked to OSearch in a while. They've, as an organization, they've blown up with Shark Week, so they're like way too busy for me nowadays. They're like way too
but
popular.
they can make some time for
I
Ernst.
think so. I think we can talk Ernst. We can, maybe it's. We're not that far off though. If you look, okay, I got a map up in front of me now. All right, we're not that far off. Lake Pontchartrain probably not. Lake Borne's a possibility, like a legitimate possibility. Man.
I know we can't get Ernst on the show, but we can get OSearch.
No, that's correct. We can get the folks from Ernst's Cafe on the show if we wanted to.
There we go.
Yeah, 7:15 Talk 107.3 FM. We got Jay Hover from Live After 5 coming up next. Oh.
Hey, Jay. Good morning. Hello. How are you?
Great.
You know I've always called you Jay Hoover. What? Well, when I know it's Hoover.
Right.
Everyone
does that.
That's a win for us. And so as more
Another one. Sorry.
that come about because of the chemical research that was going on at LSU and at these national laboratories in collaboration with LSU. Stand up and pat the gotta love it.
All right. We'll get Greg on in very short order. I've talked.
He's great.
With the way the calendar plays out this year between early morning and early legislative session, I get jams up and so that'll be on like in the meanwhile, there's another topic I want to cover this morning and make sure we have enough time for it. The headline reads why AI moves but not others. Harvard Business Review, their summary says generative AI is transforming workflows, yet its impact on employee creativity remains uneven. Speech yesterday.
Okay, so AI is the
AI. Telling the backstory is a big part of the story. Oh shit, are we up already?
Yeah, we up already.
All right.
You ready for me now? Or no?
Yeah, come on.
Okay, gotcha.
We're ready for you.
Seven 717 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We're going to talk Baton Rouge Blues Fest and Live After 5 with Jay Hover in just a second. But remind you about the folks over at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is their home base online. FlyBTR.com. I love telling you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport because they are a fantastic Baton Rouge business in our backyard with a growing number of options when it comes to your travel. And when it comes to your travel, I highly recommend you look at the full picture here. Okay. You can look at ticket price. You can look at connecting flights. You can look at how you can get from point A to point B through Baton Rouge, or you could look at driving down the road to go to New Orleans and that massive humanity that is the TSA line. It is gross. And the exorbitant parking rates and having to deal with when you come back home from a trip, you want to come back home from a trip. You don't want to come back home and then still have to drive an hour to get home. So take in the full experience. FlyBTR.com. All right, Live After 5 is coming up a couple months from now. Baton Rouge Blues Fest coming up a couple months from now. We're going to dig in on both of those. We got Jay Hover in the house. How are you, man?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you?
Doing very well as well. We got a lot to talk about here because Live After 5 and the Baton Rouge Blues Fest have both become, over the course of a few decades, just a staple, an absolute part of who we are in Baton Rouge and how we celebrate life.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Both the Live After 5 and the Baton Rouge Blues Fest, kind of part of our cultural identity down here.
Mm-hmm.
Great events, free events.
Yeah.
Get all the folks out. So, yeah.
So, and free events, but there's still bands to pay. There's still costs that have to be made. There's still a sound guy. There's still it's free to the public. But pulling this off has been, it's always a challenge. And with the budgetary concerns that the city parish is facing right now, it leads questions for the future. So before we get into what opportunities and options are out there, I do want to kind of walk down the history of it, though, because we've seen Live After 5 evolve over the years. I can remember there was at least one season of Live After 5 where they physically blocked off 3rd Street. I remember watching the Molly Ringwalds on 3rd and then going to some, I think it's a school now, or raising, watching the Molly Ringwalds on 3rd and then going to like some kind of Jimmy Buffett themed bar off of, I could not tell you the name of the bar at this point. Parrot something maybe.
Right.
And anyway, like that's how long ago this all got started, and then moved over to Town Square, turned itself around, turned itself back. We built that stage out. Like it has grown and morphed over the years, but like the iterations of downtown, it's now part of it.
100%. Yeah. I think, based on attendance, I think we average upwards of 4,500 people per event, which is great. As you mentioned, Galvez Plaza used to face towards North Boulevard.
Yeah.
As the series grew, had to turn back facing the Canes River Center.
Which I, by the way, I like that a lot better because it gives the attendees a lot more options as far as their level of participation. Some folks like to be right up front, hit that dance floor. Some folks like to just post up the tailgate chairs a little bit further back. And some folks like to be way in the back and let the kids run around.
Exactly right.
So it gives you more options when you're facing the Rays and Canes River Center. It also allows for the other makers and vendors to post up shop closer to Town Square.
Exactly right. Even got your folks that like to sit behind the stage.
That's a big crowd. I never realized just how big of a crowd that was. But
right.
When we're handling emceeing duties, as you walk off stage, backstage, it's like, wow, that's a lot of people. That's
exactly.
They're just looking at everybody's butts.
That's quite the sight to see.
Yeah. You mentioned average about 4,500 people. That number does go up a good bit when the right acts are there. But I think it's important to talk about, you have 4,500 people who are engaged, who want to be a part of an overall community, who take advantage of what the community has to offer out there. And when we talk about quality of life, they want to enjoy that quality. I think not just that there's 4,500 people. It's not just the what or the how many, but the who.
Exactly right.
So walk down that path a little bit.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think over the course of the 12 shows, Live After 5 averages 50,000 people coming to downtown, 39% increase in downtown attendance on those Friday nights as well. Diverse crowd, as you mentioned, inclusive type atmosphere. And we're just looking to put on some more shows this spring.
So we're working on that. That's going on behind the scenes right now. And we'll talk about what's to come in a little bit. But continuing with it, though, actually, no, let's go ahead and walk down that path. We'll get to Baton Rouge Blues Fest in a little bit. When you put together a Live After 5 lineup, how much goes into the diversity of the lineup? Not just people, but genres and the whole works, because Baton Rouge celebrates a whole lot of different types of music.
Yeah, that's one of our goals from Live After 5. One, touch on all the different genres down here that we celebrate in Louisiana, but also speaking to every walk of life out there and all the people to come out and support some live music.
One of the things that amazes me is like when you talk about that average of 4,500 people, it might be a completely different 4,500 on the first Friday in April than the second Friday in April. I'm just picking random dates, but like it might be when you bring out, like if you bring out the Mixed Nuts, you're going to get one crowd, and then you bring out Kenny Neal, you're going to get a completely different crowd. So, and I'm walking this up because I'm thinking if you're as a business owner, you say you got 4,500 people looking at your branding, your who you are as a business. But the next week, now that 4,500 has become 9,000 because it's completely different eyeballs, and so on and so forth over the course of a 6-concert series.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we urge all the companies out there to get behind this great event that's been around for quite some time, 25 years now, I want to say. But yeah, we're staring down the barrel of some citywide budget cuts, and we're looking to get on through 2026 and beyond.
Jay Hover with Live After 5 and the Baton Rouge Blues Fest is our guest right now. I not without completely opening the books. I'm not going to ask you to pull numbers here, but budget tightening is a real thing. And what has it done potentially to this concert series?
We're approaching it on a day-by-day basis. We're out there trying to onboard more sponsors, get more community support, which, as you said, this is such an important part of Baton Rouge and who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So we're full steam ahead.
Let's talk a little bit about sponsorship opportunities. What does it look like? What is out there? What's available?
Sure. Please feel free to reach out. Jay Hover at downtownbr.org. We've got a beautiful sponsorship deck, but different tiers come with the different perks. And, part of what we try to do is really highlight these great community sponsors and give them the value that they deserve. Buy-in
levels, they really, because you and I were walking through a couple of the packages that are out there. Buy-in levels, you've got just a range of availability, for the Exxon Mobiles to get involved, or for Haldane Media, like everywhere and everywhere in between. So there's a lot that's out there. If you're thinking to yourself, I want to be involved, I would like to sponsor a little bit, but I don't have a huge budget to do so, Jay's got you covered. They range in value, and if I know anything from emceeing these concerts over the course of the years, for being the introducing the bands and whatnot, I know that this is one where you under promise and over deliver, and have for a number of years now.
Exactly right. Yeah, and we're willing to get flexible, as you mentioned. We understand the current economic, what's going on out there in the world. So holler at us and come support us.
All right, that takes us up to moving to what it's going to look like for this year. We're still nailing down dates. Have we gotten any bands lined up yet?
Working on that now as well.
Okay.
But, we're looking to get on some legacy Live After 5 bands and get all the folks out.
Wait, what does that mean? Folks that have been there before?
Yeah, people that have been here before. We know that the people are going to come out and support. And,
okay.
I'm sure you can guess a couple of those, but we'll get there.
Normally with the spring concert series, there's always one aligns with the Baton Rouge Blues Fest. So let's just go ahead and pivot over there right now. What can folks be looking forward to? How much is in the works, or how much is already on the books for the Blues Fest?
Yeah, so you here first, stepping in as new interim director for the Baton Rouge Blues Fest and Foundation. Quite an honor. Looking at kicking off for Live After 5 Friday, April 17th, and rolling right into a full day of music on Saturday, April the 18th. Celebrating the Swamp Blues and all the great Baton Rouge musicians we have here locally.
Do we have ink to paper on anybody that can announce it, or we just know dates right now?
No dates now. We're working on the announce and get all that stuff out here in the next couple of weeks.
All right, well, then we're going to have to get you back on once we have names to go along with it. But I think most of us know a lot of the names that are the regulars at the Baton Rouge Blues Fest. Talk to me a little bit about, because as much as I love Live After 5, and as long as Live After 5 has run in Baton Rouge, Blues Fest has been around even longer.
I think you're exactly right. Yeah, 1981, I want to say, is when the Baton Rouge Blues Fest kicked off. One of the longest standing blues festivals in the country, if not the world, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. And the timing of Blues Fest is very evident as well, because you're not competing with Lafayette or New Orleans on that front.
Exactly right. Yeah, getting before the Jazz Fest in New Orleans, of course. Festival International. Yeah, exactly right. So, yeah, great celebration of the Swamp Blues down here. As I mentioned, we got a couple surprises up our sleeves, hopefully. So urge the people to come out and support another great event.
Do we know what the layout looks like yet? Because I know there's been challenges in the past. It's been fun in the past to where the stages are and how things map out.
Yeah, what I can say now is 4, maybe even 5 stages this year, upwards of 40 bands, artists, whatever you like to say. So, yeah, really leaning on Galvez Plaza and all the downtown to help support this great event.
What does Blues Fest look like compared to the other festivals? I mean, we all know you from Federales Fest and a few others. What does this look like in comparison, like size, scale wise? You're scaling up here.
Yeah, scaling up. I mean, honestly, the economic impact year in and year out is quite impressive.
Yeah.
$1 million plus, I want to say. I believe last year's attendance surpassed the 20,000 person mark on the Saturday. So yeah, just tons of people coming in from out of town, as well as local support as well.
And this, I mean, yeah, when they come in from out of town, they're going to stay downtown. They're going to take up hotel rooms. They're going to go to our restaurants, all the things that go along with it. We got about 30 seconds left with Jay Hover, who's taking the reins of the Baton Rouge Blues Fest and Live After 5. If folks are interested in sponsorship opportunities, where do they need to go?
Reach out through our webpage. Reach out to us on our social media handles as well. But we'd love to set up a meeting and come talk and hopefully work something out.
Tell you what, we'll put those links in. We'll post this audio on demand after the show's over with. We'll put those links in when we do that. He is Jay Hover. Live After 5, Baton Rouge Blues Fest, both right around the corner. Jay, appreciate a couple minutes, man.
Thank you so much, sir.
Always. 7:30 at Talk 107.3 FM. Crime Stoppers coming up next. But first, we got to check news. We'll start with ABC before moving over to local news, traffic, and weather on Talk 107.3. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Set the table. We will follow up on that for as we get closer.
Yeah, look, we're as we said, we're just
Okay.
Appreciate you, sir.
Well, no, we got you.
Thank my friend.
Bye. See you
Great day.
soon.
On the ones and
Yes.
twos.
Yep.
Cool. Thank y'all.
Bye. Good morning. Good morning.
I just made a fresh pie.
I'm good for now, but thank you. Thank you.
I'm Colleen Crane in the Talk 107.3 Baton Rouge newsroom. Two men the Justice Department says are in the country illegally have been indicted on drug charges in what authorities say is the biggest methamphetamine bust in Louisiana history. Livingston Parish Sheriff Jason Art says the deputies who stopped the two men on I-12 last Saturday were true heroes that day.
Just imagine how many lives that may be saved by this. This was supposed to be going into the
Has been pretty quiet, relatively. I mean, considering Mardi Gras, not really.
The Justice Department says the two men are citizens of
What can you do?
Louisiana and El Salvador.
I know.
Protection equipment is now
How have you been?
I've been good.
Family's well?
Yes, family's what finally. I mean,
Good.
my little boy still has a little cough on him. It seems like ever since like Christmas, we just been sick. And my oldest boy, gosh, was a month ago. He had flu game.
Oh, what?
And right after that, our whole house got hit with a stomach bug. We're better. We've been better. But it's like, God, I feel like we can't catch a break. And I'll take my emergency, like religiously. But I guess you can't help but get what you want to get, you know?
Well, but I heard too that the flu shot,
It doesn't prevent the super flu strain.
the other strands, and it's like, wow,
And I take my flu shot too, but that's what I heard too, that
it's a different strain.
it doesn't protect you against this super flu this year.
How old are you?
I get my water.
Okay,
Forgot my water. Oh, shit.
you good?
The door closes now.
You got, there's a knob.
Yeah, there's a knob, Brian. My little boy's 8 and my twins are 6.
Nice.
Yeah, all boys. I know, life's fun. And we were trying to do some homework last night. Lord, the way they teach math now,
I've heard the Common Core.
that's what we've been doing.
So, if 1 + 1 is 2, why do we have to go around the block with
And
these new ways to get to the same?
well, correct. And here's the deal. My son is smart with it. He is quick like a whip. He can do it in his head, all this. So he moves fast and he figures out he ain't showing his work, so he gets points wrong. I'm like, but he just figures it out. He has to show his work, but he has to show his work a certain way. And I'm like, see that? I'm starting to get pissed.
There's more than one. What's the old saying? There's one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, and I'm like, but they have to show it the way.
But
I'm like-
who makes that the right way? Who decides
Correct.
this is the way it's going to be?
For years, that door never closed. It just came to, and they didn't have to use the knob.
But
But
Brian,
Landon comes in and fixes the door.
Brian, we gotta open the door.
I understand that. But before Landon fixed it, we're talking decades.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Speaking of getting sick.
Bless you.
And yeah, when Brian got back from DC, he was sick. So
Yeah, you were sick last week.
Yeah, I was.
you feeling better, huh?
Do what?
You better now?
Yeah. Yeah. Sinus is all cleared up and, good to go.
Good.
How's everything in your world? What are we talking about today?
Good. So I think we need to start with Coach Kiffin getting the video of you plowing through that door as like a linebacker or something.
I have eligibility.
I saw that.
Yeah. I don't have a lower back, but I have eligibility.
We had some fugitives.
I was deadlifting yesterday, and
Don't you
my
have that
dead.
bag?
I did well
Why are you
because
deadlifting?
to strengthen my back. And man, I stopped at 185. Like I used to be able to deadlift 315, no problem. I stopped at 185 yesterday, 3 reps, and I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'll try again next week.
Not that left one any problem. Like, not like that, but I don't mean it like that. What?
No, that's how bad my back is. As soon as I feel that strain, I stop.
Should we call EMS for that
I know,
attack?
right?
Just
Well, they do have a machine in the wash.
Go back the bus up and hit me again. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you heard, but I heard, Brian, you're a little bitch.
Damn, y'all.
No, you. You're the one who called me a bitch.
My bad, yeah.
she's like, oh, yeah, my bad.
Hold on, my brain. Brian.
I was deadlifting 185. Really? That's all?
I do.
Bitch.
Brian, I don't mean it like that.
Benching 265, if that helps.
I can't do that. Yeah, I can do that. I can maybe bench 95, maybe.
But like anything involving my core or my lower back, like even my squats way down. And I don't know why I even bother.
What is that? I don't know if it's a machine. It's kind of where
You sit on it,
you lay on it and you go down. And I guess it's not. It's for your back.
Yeah, we have one where you sit on it. I mean, you're like bent over when you sit, and the bar goes across here, and you push back on it. Like,
no, it's not that.
same. I think we're talking about the same machine, but in a different position.
Yeah, this
Anyway,
is-
yes, I do
you
that.
reach forward and you kind of bend at the waist. It's-
Talk about your wedding night.
That camp and stuff.
6:30. Nope, 7:37. Talk 107.3 FM WPRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Thanks again to Jay Hover. Don't forget, Live After 5, just a couple months away, and we'll be hunting sponsors very, very soon, y'all. In fact, there are right now. Just 25 years worth of Live After 5. That like an absolute Baton Rouge staple. So check them out. Look up Live After 5 on all your social media. Just Live After 5. You will find the Baton Rouge one. Different social media outlets. And if you are in the position as a business owner to help, we encourage you to do so. Coming up at 8:05, Desiree Lemoyne from Industry Makes is going to join us. Boy, there are some strange bedfellows getting together here. When you talk about some good old tree-hugging Republicans teaming up with the Sierra Club. Yeah. We'll talk with Desiree at 8:05. Lana Venable from Louisiana Lawsuit Abuse Watch at 8:15. And Sammy Wyatt is in the race for the 5th Congressional District. He will join us at 8:35. Right now, though, time for Crime Stoppers. Let's get it. What you say, Don?
Hey, good morning. How are you, Brian?
I'm very well. I'm hoping you're well as well.
I'm well. I was a little concerned with you this morning, but I'm glad you're better.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, we had a door incident.
So, but like
The
okay,
door.
like literally nobody saw that.
No, we saw.
No. What I'm saying is in the audience, nobody saw that.
Oh, well, they have to hear.
Facebook didn't see it.
We have to
The
tell
audience-
them about this.
Yet
All right.
until we get a camera.
Yes.
Okay, so backstory here is there's a door that leads to all the studios on the second floor. And for decades, more than one decade at least, okay? I first started at Guarantee in 2011. For the longest time, the door would always push to but wouldn't click closed. So if you wanted to leave all the second floor studios, you could just push on the door and it would open up and boom, you're in the stairwell, right? Well, Landon Foster, who's been really fixing things up everywhere you turn around here, making Guarantee a better place, like in the physical sense, making Guarantee, he's a good dude too, but like physically sprucing up the Guarantee facilities. He came in, the door, the old knob broke, he put on a new one. Only difference is after Landon was done, this knob works. So he installed a working doorknob so the door actually closes now. So when you're going 100 miles an hour to go get your big jug of water and you need to go from the second floor to the third floor, if you just put your arm out to try and stiff arm the door open, decent possibility you hyperextend your elbow. Decent possibility that you just completely jam yourself up. And that's what Don's talking about. That is exactly
So Landon
what I
did a great job.
He
in fixing
did.
the door.
He did a better job than I, well, it's we're all creatures of habit, Don. If you do one thing the same way for a decade, you're gonna,
I agree.
yeah. You're going to call them the New Orleans Hornets after they're the Pelicans.
Oh boy!
But I'm
Alrighty.
glad I could entertain you two. I'm glad I could entertain the both of y'all.
We thought it was hilarious.
I did.
Well, so if you don't want to hyperextend your elbow's got to give, and then what's next? Your face bumps into it. So, all right, fine. Can we catch some bad guys?
Yes,
I'm feeling very attacked right now
We can. So
by both of you and a door. The two of you and a door are all attacking me.
I know. We were talking about the weights that Brian lifts in the gym, and it's just.
We don't need to revisit. We're halfway through the segment already.
I know.
Just picking on me.
I know.
There's bad guys
know.
out there. You don't call 344 stop to give tips on how I'm an idiot or apparently a weakling. You don't pull out the P3 app when I'm at the gym.
But you could.
You could.
You could. You never know.
Well, apparently my deadlift is a crime.
Hey, so let's start off with the Capital Region Crime Stoppers Facebook page.
Please.
Last week, we were talking about the initiative Beyond Bars.
Yes.
We visited Walker High School, their JAG for American graduate students, and what a great experience that was. This program, if you ever question, is it getting through to the kids? Is it really worth what we're doing? So we had kids at this JAG for American Graduates program at Walker High School who we had seen at different other community events, barbershop talks, whatever it may be. Well, when the kids see us, myself, Des, LA, straight to us.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thank y'all for being here. How have you been? And Brian, for me, looking at this as a high school kid, if they didn't want to have anything to do with you, they would go the other way.
Right.
They would totally ignore you, but it was just the opposite. So again, this is a program that's working. We will be at another local high school this Friday. You should see it on the news as well. And we want to remind the listeners that our Crime Stoppers website, crimestoppers225.com, under the Get Involved tab, there is a drop down for Beyond Bars, and fill it out. If your community have a community event, a school that wants us to visit, it's free of charge. Let us come out. Let these guys tell their story. They're going to be on 107.3.
The 25th?
The Wednesday, the 25th. 25th.
Yeah. All right, 25th sounds right. That's when I've got your pencil on the 25th.
And just to tell their story, and what a great story it is. And again, it's not a scared straight.
Mm-mm.
This is reality on the choices that you make, having to pay the consequences if something goes wrong.
One of the things that just stood out to me about what you just recounted right there, Don, is that apparently this is a story you can hear more than once.
Absolutely.
I mean, if these kids at Walker have heard the story
They've
before,
heard the story,
and they're getting back in line to hear it again,
Yes.
because it's going to be a little bit different every
it's a
time
little
out.
bit different, and you have quite more questions. As you digest this information, you may think of something later on, but for them to say, "We want you back,"
Right.
time and time again. We've been at schools in East Baton Rouge Parish countless number of times, and it doesn't get old. It's the staff, the kids, they welcome us in, and it's really a good feeling.
Well, especially when you see them come back around, that the good feeling's going to increase exponentially when they come back around, because these guys can talk all day, but you don't know if anybody's listening.
Oh,
but when you see that response, you can
But
tell
they're
they're listening. Very good stuff.
So, Baton Rouge Police is attempting to identify some armed robbery suspects. Earlier this year in January, these suspects entered a convenience store in the 3700 block of Choctaw Drive. We have some good pictures of them on our Facebook page, Capital Region Crime Stoppers. There is one picture of an individual holding a gun, pointing a gun at the employee. And that's something you never want to be in that situation.
Is this on the Facebook page?
This is on our Facebook page. We posted it yesterday. Have received some anonymous tips on these two, but we want those tips to continue to come in.
Mhm.
We would rather get the same tip over and over again than not any at all.
I'm looking at this right here. I'm seeing it right now. It's the BRPD.
Yes, Baton Rouge Police.
Wow. Unbelievably up close and personal with the shots right there. I mean, yeah, they're in a hoodie with a mask and everything, but the physical attributes that are showing are very, very telling. I mean, this is clearly something. If you know this person, you'll recognize this person.
Oh, no doubt. And it's one simple call, Crime Stoppers, 344-7867, P3 Tips app, or our website. Any way you contact us is anonymous.
Right.
So moving on, the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office is looking for a Stephanie Andrews, 27 years old, and a Tarviana Parker, 26 years old, on the charge of felony theft. Investigators believe these two entered a local Bath and Body shop and helped themselves to some fragrances and candles, which totaled an amount of around $1,100. So
Good Lord.
that's a lot of fragrance and candles.
All right, hang on. No, I hit up the Bath and Body Works for the missus as part of her Christmas present as well. So, I mean, not from nothing, but you can hit that number. Like, you let me loose in the Bath and Body Works, I can hit that number.
Well,
I
the difference is you will stop at the cashier.
Oh no, 100%.
Okay, versus
100%.
Miss Andrews and Miss Parker here and just made their way out the door.
Now I'm guessing though, like when you talk about that $1,100 number, you're not including the buy 3 get 1 free coupon that's always in your email.
I don't know if they received the email.
Okay.
And if they did receive the email after this, I'm sure they're off the email list.
Those candles smell good too.
I mean, they're nice. They're nice.
Does that help detectives to be able to follow the nose?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to give all their investigative measures away. Okay.
See, what did we talk about earlier, Brie Lynn? In an investigation, you don't give away the good tips.
Right. Or the smells.
Right. So somebody's out there with a whole bunch of sweet pea or whatever.
Oh, no, Japanese cherry blossom. There we go.
That's so.
And with Valentine's Day coming up, you may want to make sure that it's not stolen items you receive.
Right. So, yeah, did they go with the sprays, the lotions, the whole works?
Look, for $1,100, they went with a lot.
I would imagine so. What else we got?
Melvin Coleman, 29 years old. We've mentioned him before. Battery of a dating partner, wanted by the Baton Rouge Police Department.
There it is.
Investigators believe that he had approached a female acquaintance and struck her in the face with some keys in his hand.
Oh no!
So yeah, this
Oh
you
no!
know, and this has this happened some time ago, but you know what you've done. You may not be caught right then, but eventually this is going to catch up with you. We at Crime Stoppers are not just going to put your case aside to say, oh well, time's gone by and somebody have forgot about this. No.
No,
So-
you know, we talk about it all the time. Now we can't get through a segment like this without a domestic violence one.
No,
and
and
it rears its ugly head far too often. This possibly even worse. I know that you don't want to put them scale. You don't want to put them side by side comparison, but punched a woman in the face with keys in his hand. The level of damage that could do.
exactly.
Give me this guy's name again.
Melvin Coleman.
All right. If you know Melvin Coleman, 344-STOP. 344-STOP. Or if you see him out and about, use the P3 app. Take a picture of his license plate. If you see him, if you work with him, if you know, or just happen to know him, let's help get this crime solved here. 344-STOP is the phone number. You always will remain anonymous. The batting average on that is without flaw. He is Don Coppola. We do Crime Stoppers about this time every single week. I hate to end on such a heavy, but at the same time, though, attention needs to be paid to that.
It does. And we appreciate you. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
This Day in History is next.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much again.
You're very welcome.
Enjoyed the laughs.
Making fun of me.
Have a great day, ma'am.
Have a great day. Thank you so much. No, I'm good. I'm sipping slow this morning. Thank you.
Hey, Brian. So you turn. Look right, you turn, and you go out.
Thank you. I appreciate the tutorial.
Oh, Lord.
I appreciate the tutorial.
I thought you ran into the door.
No, I went to push it out.
Heart disease. Somebody out there running around with $1,100 worth of Moonlight Path. Ooh. I know. Ooh, I used to like that smell.
So I go in and I reload Christy on body splash and lotion.
And her candles.
And her birthday's in June. So I'll do it again in June.
Okay.
So she's set for the year with constant re-upping. And I like the ones that smell too much like powder, I can't do.
And that one smells.
It does.
You know what one smells good and it's a Christmas scent? Sweater weather.
Okay.
That one smells really good.
Oh, shorter version. So hit the highlights. We don't need to.
No, I know. I chopped it way down.
Cool.
Well, and I forgot that we were on a shorter break.
Yeah,
yesterday, so that's my bad.
I'm sorry.
What's the one? Cucumber melon. That's it. From way back in the day.
1,000 Wishes. That's a good one.
1,000 wishes, yeah.
Whew.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
7:55 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 3 is gonna be jam packed with guests. Normally we'll do this day in history to begin hour 3, but we got Desiree Lemoyne hopping on with us, so we moved this day in history up to right now.
Back in the year 1795, the first U.S. state university opens, the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
In 1861, it was a Civil War milestone, Louisiana, its secession out of the Civil War.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Civil War milestone for Louisiana secession. This day in history, 1861.
Today's the day we seceded from the
Yes.
Union.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 1921, Winston Churchill becomes Prime Minister of Colonies. 1959, the Lincoln Memorial design on the U.S. penny.
Wait, what colonies?
I didn't dig too much into it.
Okay.
Yep. The Lincoln Memorial design on the U.S. penny goes into circulation. It replaces the sheaves of wheat design.
The Lincoln Memorial landed on the penny today. I wonder why they would put that on the penny today. Foreshadowing.
Right. 1993, the company film Groundhog Day opens in the U.S. starring Bill Murray. Let's see, 1999.
Kind of weird that Groundhog Day is released 10 days after Groundhog Day.
Right. And not on Groundhog Day.
That's my point.
1999, U.S. President Bill Clinton is acquitted by the Senate in his impeachment trial.
Mm-hmm.
2014, former New Orleans mayor Ray Nagin is found guilty on corruption charges and sentenced to 10 years in prison
Mm-hmm.
for his famous words. Okay. All right. Birthdays today. Let's get ahead to it. Let's see. Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, that's the foreshadowing right there.
Right.
That's why they add him to the penny today. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Abe Lincoln.
Christina Ricci. She's
Okay.
she's known for the Addams Family.
Well, yeah.
Josh Brolin, No Country for Old Men, Avengers.
I'm sorry. Can we hit a couple more things? I want two more that happened on this day in history.
Yeah, go
This
ahead.
day in 1909, the NAACP was founded. This day in 1994, thieves broke into the National Gallery in Oslo and stole the Scream. All right, continue.
All right. Jesse Spencer, he's known for his role in House and Chicago Fire. He has a birthday today. John Michael Higgins, known for Pitch Perfect.
Okay.
Let's see. Deaths.
Well,
do you have birthdays?
I've got birthdays as well. You
Okay.
skipped right past Charles Darwin. Yeah, Charles Darwin, Omar Bradley, former basketball great Bill Russell was born on this day. And lest we not forget, digging into a little LSU here. Dadgummit with my stupid sheet. There it is. Matt Mauck's birthday is today. Dell Demps, former Pelicans GM. Lincoln Kennedy, who is a football player, not Abe Lincoln or John Kennedy. It's their birthdays. And my sister, Jamie Albritton, her birthday's today.
Oh, happy birthday, Jamie. I don't have any notable deaths on this day. Do you have
Emmanuel
anything?
Kant,
Okay.
K-A-N-T.
Okay.
Always important to pronounce that A.
So I figured we would go with this one for a national day. It is called Fat Thursday, but it's more famous in Poland, but Fat Thursday takes place on Thursday before Ash Wednesday in February, right before the 40th day period of Lent.
Okay.
Well, we got Fat Tuesday.
We got Fat
Poland
Tuesday.
can have Fat Thursday.
They can. As we enter the deep graw is where we go from here.
So interesting.
With Mardi
All
Gras
right.
really ramping up, leading up to next Tuesday. All right, that is this day in history. And before we take our break at the to hear news, traffic, and weather, start hour number 3. Do want to remind you about Neurojust, neurojust.com. If you battle with anxiety or depression and treatment hasn't been right for you, if you don't really like the way you feel on the meds, or if the meds don't work or the sit-down therapy doesn't work, give Neurojust a look. They specialize in TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation. It's like physical therapy for your brain, is the way that Jordan puts it. Insurance will pick up the tab for this. Look them up. It's FDA approved. It's non-invasive. Response rates are through the roof. Neurojust.com.
That woman still hadn't had her medicine. Who are you sending that to?
Don.
Oh. Who are you sending that to? Christy.
Think next Crime Stopper segment should be sleeveless. Call it guns out, guns out.
Shut up, you lied. Double quarter pounder meal is still $10. Talk 1073.
That's Desiree.
Talk 1073. Hey, Desiree, we'll come to you next week, okay? Okay, thank you.
Recently, traders have been selling shares of stocks in industries they believe will be negatively affected by artificial intelligence. And Wall Street is watching coal stocks, which are on the rise. The Trump administration has ordered the Pentagon to purchase electricity from coal plants and also announced funding for upgrades to coal facilities. Courtney Donovan, Bloomberg Radio.
Now a check on your drive from the Talk 1073 Traffic Center.
If you're traveling eastbound I-10 from LA 415 across the river down to the 110 split, that's going to take you about 6 minutes. On the I-12 side, we're 25 minutes from Cuban to the 1012 and westbound I-10 Highland Bridge, 25 minutes
1073 weather.
Today, expect mostly cloudy conditions. Those high temperatures getting to 75 degrees. Showers will be possible this afternoon. Overnight lows at 57. Patchy fog possible. Friday getting up to 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. But Saturday is the day our next storm system will move through. We're going to see some scattered showers throughout the afternoon, turning into more thunderstorms by the evening, especially late, with widespread activity entering overnight. I'm meteorologist Maitland Rogers with your storm station forecast. WBRZ, Channel 10.
This hatchback with a lot of energy, and I really want that to start now.
806 Talk 1073 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. Knocked out this day in history in our last segment, which by the way is always brought to you by the folks over at 5 Star Printing and Signs. I'll tell you more about them a little bit later on in the show. Right now, though, I tell you every day about the folks over at Industry Makes, industrymakes.org, and how Industry Makes is a coordinated effort to make sure that both sides of the argument are heard. Far too often when people are growing jobs, producing energy, doing things in this state that move our nation forward, there's a concerted effort to shut them down. Who is speaking up for the manufacturers? Who is speaking up for the job providers? That would be the folks over at Industry Makes. Desiree Lemoyne is on with us right now. Desiree, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Brian. I'm happy to be back.
Glad-
I'm doing well today.
Glad to have you on here, although I've got to tell you I'm unbelievably frustrated with the topic of conversation today. So apparently the Sierra Club is at it when it comes to shutting down energy dominance in America that's going to funnel through Louisiana. And they are, they're teaming up with some folks that are, quote unquote, on the right to do it. Walk me through this story.
I would love to. Unfortunately, you are exactly right. We have found through some our experiences on the ground, as well as some research, that the Sierra Club and others, it's not just the Sierra Club, other national organizations have, as they've always done, funnel money down to the region, which comes down through the state, which gets down to the locals.
Mm-hmm.
And they have not only funded, but have also given best practices to these pop-up anti-CCS groups. And it is disheartening because of the information that they're giving to these people in these communities that scare them to death, rightfully so. And the fact that they make it very difficult for industry at public hearings, or they call their own, quote, town hall meetings, and they don't allow the other side to speak. So the community is only getting one side of the story, which is unfortunate considering that manufacturing in Louisiana is the backbone of the economy, and growing that part of the economy that rising tide does in fact lift all the boats.
Yes. Desiree Lemoyne from Industry Makes is with us, industrymakes.org, if you want to learn more about their mission. So this is such unusual bedfellows here, though, because the Sierra Club traditionally has been all about the environment. I mean, they've been, if you close your eyes and picture a tree hugger, you're going to get the Sierra Club, right? That's, and I'm not oversimplifying here, and I'm not trying to, cast aspersions, but that's who they are and what they do. Now, conversely, when you talk about the impacts of LNG on Louisiana's economy, teaming up with them doesn't seem like it would be a normal pairing.
That's right. And that's what's so terribly frustrating to a lot of us, is that we need industry, or manufacturing as a whole, needs to do a better job of getting out their message through social media exchanges and conversations that we've been able to have with members of these communities where these investments are going. We have found that there's a tremendous disconnect between oil and gas, LNG, and why they all need, or have rather, a carbon capture component. Conversations like, we don't need carbon capture because we can sell our LNG. And it's like, well, hold on a minute. you can't have LNG without carbon capture.
Right.
So there's a disconnect there that industry needs to do, and we are doing, trying to reach out, but shamefully, the voices, the voices from the Sierra Club and the pop-up organizations are drowning out industry voices. The logical voice, the squeakiest wheel, the loudest person always gets the attention.
Right.
And it's never been a business model to scream and yell. So we're learning. We're trying to have more intimate conversations with people inside the community, so that we could have productive conversations. Because as well as anybody, the minute you give someone a microphone in a room of 100 people, the meeting has no meaning.
Right.
So we have been trying to have more intimate and productive conversations with members of these communities to assure them that the projects and the investments that are coming to their area are safe and are economically viable and will provide a long-term tax base to their communities that will give them better schools, better first responders. They will be funded, and it's a win-win, because when communities thrive, industry makes communities stronger. And so when there's an investment in a community, it has to be a win-win. It has to benefit the community as well as the investment. And that's the message that we're trying to give.
Desiree Lemoyne from Industry Makes is with us. Learn more at industrymakes.org. Desiree, I got to ask you a couple questions that probably sound contradictory to themselves. The Sierra Club is all about the environment. Reducing the carbon footprint is what they used to be in favor of. Now, all of a sudden, carbon capture and sequestration is somehow their enemy. How did they? I know I'm asking the wrong person this, because you're not going to know how they made their turn. But how and or why did they make that turn? Is it just at a certain point you have to look and say, do they just not like the people that deal in oil and gas? Because
let me tell you this, Brian. And their MO has always been the same. The Sierra Club, or pick an environmental activist organization.
Yeah.
They find a problem. Industry solves the problem, and then they oppose the solution. It's the same playbook.
Yes.
They've always done it. And carbon capture is a way, in their eyes, to extend the fossil fuel industry. And they are against fossil fuels in every way, shape, or form. And, the public, we're in addition to trying to connect the safety and the security, we also want to connect the products that come from petroleum, or from boiling a barrel of oil down to the chemical processes of the everyday life, your medicines, your bandages, your cleaners, everything, the food safety aspect, the health safety aspect of manufacturing that Louisiana gives to the nation because of the industrial base that we have here. And I believe that's an important connection that industry also has to make while they're talking about safety and economic security, is quality of life. I mean, you can have your crusade,
right,
but we don't all have to live like refugees.
Well,
and
no,
not everyone
unless
supports that.
Yeah, and I don't see anybody in the Sierra Club giving up their tennis shoes, giving up their cell phones, or the cases that hold their cell phones, or the
That's
Tupperware
exactly
they bring
right.
their lunch to work in. Like, I don't see them giving up any of the product. I don't see them not putting tires on their car, or not driving on the roads. All these things are made from the byproducts of this industry that has literally built everything. So they're not willing to give all that stuff up, and yet they want to oppose it. Meanwhile, what they're doing right now is opposing the steps that industry is taking to be more environmentally friendly. The environmentalists are against the environmental friendly move.
Right. And it's more of an economic argument now.
Yeah.
And that is because there are American companies as well as European companies that are the customers of Louisiana's manufacturing base. And they want a carbon-free molecule, period. And if we can't produce that carbon-free molecule here, they'll produce it overseas. And if we're not growing, we're dying.
Right. No, and to go along with that, though, is if we're not growing, we're dying, but we're also having to trust somebody else to do whatever is quote unquote carbon free without any oversight or regulation over the back end. What are the byproducts of that? Are they actually going to create something worse? But you brought up right there, Desiree, the other point of this that confounds me is that this is business. This is big business, and this is the business that runs Louisiana. I don't understand why we have conservatives standing in the way of a backbone business.
Well, I think that they have been taken advantage of. Honestly, I think these national groups come in and they pick their targets and they feed them misinformation, and industry didn't get in there fast enough.
Well,
you know, we didn't get our message out fast enough, and these people now they're scared because of, like I said earlier, from the misinformation and the downright lies that they have been told by the leaders of these groups. And I'm talking politicians as well as the leaders of these groups that are apparently rebels needing a cause.
and then, you know, somebody in the audience is going to say, well, what about the dangers of the unproven science? The science has been around for close to 50 years or been implemented for close to 50 years. And the dangers, they're answered one at a time. But people just, you know, put their fingers in their ears and say, no, I'm not listening. I don't.
We have found that. We have found that the opposition is very dug in and unwilling to listen to the science. And that is unfortunate, because I have never in my life, I have been in this business for over 30 years, and I have never read a business plan that says, you know, kill your community.
Right.
That's not what we do. These investors invest billions upon billions of dollars, and they're not going to put that at risk by endangering the community where they invest. It just doesn't make any sense at all.
She is Desiree Lemoyne with Industry Makes. Where does this go from here? I know there's some lawsuits out there. Is it too early to prognosticate?
Well, you know, I'm really not a prognosticator, because you never really know these days. We're hoping for the best. We're prepared for the worst, but we will fight them with everything that we have, because we believe the data and the science is on our side.
Desiree Lemoyne with Industry Makes. Check out more at industrymakes.org. Desiree, we always appreciate the time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Brian.
Always. 816 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Quick break. When we come back, we got Lana Venable talking Lawsuit Abuse Watch. That's up next. She's already on. Yep.
Hey, yes, ma'am. I'm gonna put you on hold. We'll be about 2 minutes, okay?
Gotta love having Desiree and Lana on back-to-back segments. Two of my absolute favorite people. Head screwed on right, driven, passionate, and yet like able to explain things in a way that my dumbass can understand them. Like, hey, more water. Don texted back, are you on steroids?
Are you on? Come on.
I've been texting back. The lighting's just good. We didn't touch on eminent domain with Desiree. I should have done that. He did. Tell you, look, the ad is fat. It hides it. I get it. I lift like a beast. I do. I get in the gym and I work. I come out of the gym. My t-shirts. I am fat. My t-shirts are drenched when I get out of the gym. And if they're not, I go sit in the hot sauna for 20 minutes. Like, it's like I do my work and then I come home and I eat like a friggin' like an orphan on his first day at his forever home.
When I think big, I think my 600 pound life. Like,
819 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along, hitting all my trigger points this hour. We're going from the misinformation on carbon capture to the potential judicial hellholes and what can be done about them. Lana Venable with Louisiana Lawsuit Abuse Watch is on the hotline right now. Lana, good morning. Welcome back. How are you?
Good morning, Brian. Doing great and glad to be with you this morning.
No, always love having you on. Always love having the conversations, even though like they do raise my blood pressure. I swear between you and Desiree, like, yeah, between you and Desiree, I'm gonna need a cocktail after the show this morning. Just hitting all of my trigger points today. So let's dive in. What's the latest? Where are we at right now on just not the, I leave it to Tiger for the judicial hellhole commentary, but broadening out from that, what are we looking at right now from our overall stage?
Sure. Well, just recently, in fact, last week, the National Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse organization released a study on the economic impact of lawsuit abuse. And it found, once again, some interesting numbers for Louisiana. Unfortunately, these numbers, as we might expect, are trending in the wrong direction for our residents and our businesses. So we find, as usual, we're on the losing end in our culture of lawsuit abuse that we've talked about many times. What that study found is most recently, the statistics are from 2004, that more than 45,000 jobs were lost in Louisiana. That was up $5,000 from nearly 40,000 lost jobs that they found the year prior. So that's a big, big jump. And those are real numbers. Those are real jobs that are unavailable to residents in Louisiana as a direct impact of lawsuit abuse. We also talk a lot about the tort tax, the hidden legal tax that nobody sees, which is the interesting thing about these subtle impacts. They're very real, but they're not they're not as easy to see showing up on your tax statements or your bills or anything. But what they found was that last year over $1,000 was lost by every single resident in that tax that was paid, that hidden tort tax. This year, that went up another $100 per person. So if you're a family of four, you're paying another $400 per month, in addition to that original $1,000 in hidden costs and fees associated with lawsuit abuse. So that's just money that we just don't even see, don't even notice, to the tune of over $1,100 a year per person in Louisiana.
Good Lord. It just vanishes.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, these numbers are subtle, Brian. So if they were in your face numbers that people saw could clearly demonstrate, then there would be more outcry about this. But we see that in things like higher costs for insurance, which we've talked about many times and will continue to talk about. But goods and services, all the products that our truckers move across the interstates for us, costs that have to be added on there. To the services that we use every day. So it's a subtle impact in nature, but the financial impacts are huge.
We got Lana Venable from Louisiana Lawsuit Abuse Watch on with us, talking about the economic impact of lawsuit abuse report for 2025 into 2026. Lana, can you imagine if LED Secretary, who by the way she's been crushing it, Susan Bourgeois, if LED Secretary Bourgeois stepped up tomorrow and said, we're bringing 45,000 jobs to the state of Louisiana, that would probably be the biggest single announcement she's going to make in a year. Meanwhile, we lose 45,000 jobs as a result of lawsuit abuse. Like, is there a way to translate that message in that much of a one-to-one comparison to say, this is not just a hidden tax, this is in your face lost jobs?
Right. And, I think that's the challenging thing, Brian, is that you're right. When you're able to take the data, crunch the numbers, that like this group in Texas, the Perriman group who actually did this study, are able to do, then you see those numbers become real. Otherwise, it is really hard to quantify and demonstrate. We see as you mentioned, we see the trial lawyer billboards all over the interstate. We see the commercials nonstop. If you're watching TV, it's everywhere, and it really does become embedded in our culture. So as we're talking about economic opportunity for Louisiana, and as you mentioned, there's been a tremendous amount of that lately, which is great. But at the same time, we really need to address this underlying issue of lawsuit abuse here in Louisiana. That is a real impact to both consumers, families, and businesses. And we find it really hits our small business owners very, very hard as well. And I don't want to ignore kind of the elephant in the room with the coastal lawsuits. And you referenced earlier the judicial hellholes report. But when we look at that report that came out at the end of last year, Louisiana's coastal lawsuits specifically were ranked the number 4 judicial hellhole in the country. So that's another thing that people may not realize, day to day is directly related to them unless they are directly employed in that industry, and even still. But I mean, we're talking about a $744 million nuclear verdict in the first case in Louisiana of over 40 that have gone to trial.
Right.
That's massive. And if we continue to see those kinds of verdicts on the macro scale, combined with these kind of smaller impacts to individuals in Louisiana, we've really got to address all of that collectively if we're going to really move forward and be everything that we know Louisiana can be with our natural resources, our people, our skilled workforce. We've got the opportunity, but we've really got to address the issue of lawsuit abuse if we're ever going to really realize our full potential.
All right, Lana, I want to pivot over to what can be done from a lawmaker's perspective a little bit. Last legislative session, Emily Chenevert swung for the fences, got modified comparative fault done. I believe it was Michael Mellerine who knocked out the Housley presumption. We're seeing bites of the apple being taken over here. Is our legislative progress not enough, or have we not seen enough time for what they've done to really start to take account into our numbers?
I think it's a combination of both, Brian.
Okay.
I mean, we will start to see results of some of the reforms that were passed in the coming months and years.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we also want to make sure that we don't think this is a check the box exercise and we did legal reform and now we're done. That's really not how this works. If we look at neighboring states like Texas has been doing legal reform for decades and they didn't stop. They kept going. And that's why they're ranked number 1 when it's in terms of business opportunity, looking at all the states, they're at the top of the list in being able to attract business and industry. And while we're doing great, we don't want to stop there. We want to continue. We want to really be able to compete with Texas and other states. Georgia and Florida have passed very comprehensive legal reforms that all work together in concert as a package. That's the way it works best. Unfortunately, we can't seem to get an entire package of legal reform bills passed in Louisiana. We tend to do this piecemeal approach, which is less effective, takes longer to go into effect and see the results.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep swinging. You mentioned Representative Chenevert. I believe she's going to come back with something on third-party litigation financing. We've got so many great champions that are looking at where we fell short this last year. And while we can't do it all in one fell swoop, they're going to keep coming back to take more bites at that apple until we can at least get close to where we want to be. So we really appreciate them and their efforts, and we look forward to more to come in this session.
Lana Venable with Louisiana Lawsuit Abuse Watch is our guest. I bring up the time frame portion of this, Lana, because every time we see any effort towards tort reform, before the numbers can take hold, before the efforts can, before the squeeze gives you the juice, the opposition comes back and says, "See, it didn't work. We're not the problem." And like that. Walking through that time frame while continuing to take steps forward, I feel like that's the biggest challenge.
You're right, Brian. I think in Louisiana, we've come to expect, and not just in Louisiana, honestly, everywhere. Nowadays, we expect instant gratification, right?
Yes.
We enact something, we want to see the results immediately, not tomorrow, right now.
Right.
And so I think that's something that we have to understand as a public, is that time, especially legislative change, does take time to really see the results. But that said, on the other side of that coin, we also have to understand that just because we've made some positive changes, or as our friend Moon likes to say, steps in the right direction. We've got a long way to go. And we are not just looking internally at Louisiana. We are looking at how Louisiana competes compared to these other states. And businesses want a business climate of predictability and stability when they look to, as your guest Desiree just mentioned, as they look to invest millions of dollars in a state, they want to be reasonably sure of some of those things. And in Louisiana right now, they're not. And we certainly have had some great wins, but if we can get this culture of lawsuit abuse under control, I think we'll see many, many more wins that will really propel Louisiana far, far ahead of where we are today.
We've got less than a minute to go with Lana Venable, and you brought up the word culture. We might have to do another segment on this, Lana, because I think the culture part of this is a bigger problem than the actual numbers. The want to sue is greater than the lawsuit itself. And I don't know how to combat that part of it.
Yeah, you're right, Brian, and I know we've talked about this many times as well. But lawsuits are not a form of economic development. Lawsuits do not provide jobs. They do not have a trickle down effect in our economy. They are simply that. They are an opportunity, and certainly there is lawsuits are there as a tool to be used when they're needed, when people are wronged, and that is the system that they feel they need to pursue to get recourse. That is what it's there for. It's when it's abused that we have a problem.
Yeah.
And that's really where we are in Louisiana. And I think we're all aware of that culture. And it's going to take a concerted effort to really work together and try to change that culture. That lawsuits are not a payday. You're not winning the lawsuit lottery when you get a settlement or a judgment, because somebody is paying for that. And the people that are paying for that are everyone else. And that's exactly what we mean to bring us back where we started, by hidden costs that are passed down. That's a prime example of how that works.
All right, look, that's where we're going to have to leave it for right now because we're just straight up out of time. In the meanwhile, Patrick from Lobbies let me know about the effect on workers' comp as well. There's so many different fronts to this where we see the negative repercussions. So we are going to have to pick up the conversation again, preferably before the legislative session gets underway, so we can see some more action when they kick off on March 9th. Lana Venable with Louisiana Lawsuit Abuse Watch. Always appreciate the time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. We blew right past ABC News, and I'm not even apologetic about it because we were covering a lot of ground right there and wanted to give Lana room to run. So let's check our local news, traffic, weather. Sammy Wyatt is running for Congress in the 5th. He'll join us next. Kill my mic real quick. 837 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We got Sammy Wyatt literally pulling into the parking lot right now. He's a candidate in the 5th Congressional District. Breland's heading downstairs to let him in the building, make sure he comes through the correct door to get him funneled up here as quickly as humanly possible. So qualifying started yesterday. In the congressional, in all the races on the May 16th ballot. In fact, we're probably going to dive into some races that I don't know even know if they hit home in Baton Rouge. Like PSC District 1. That's where Eric Scametta was. And Stephanie Hilferty from New Orleans is running in that one. We'll touch on that one a little bit. We'll touch on the state Supreme Court races as well. But obviously, the Senate race and watch the wheels on that one, man. That was going to roll on you. That's all right. The Senate race and the 5th Congressional District race are probably going to be the biggest ticket items. All 6 districts, of course, are on the ballot, depending, of course, where you are. Your district will be on the ballot. But it's the 5th that's going to get the most attention because, A, it covers a big swath of land. B, there is no incumbent. And C, it's stacking up to be the Wild West as far as candidates are concerned. So we were going to talk to all the candidates along the way. And joining us now, he qualified yesterday. Sammy Wyatt's in the mix. Dr. Wyatt, good morning. Welcome back to Talk 107.3. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. I truly appreciate the opportunity.
I appreciate you coming in. And yeah, you got to mess with that mic.
It's loose.
Yeah, it is.
That's okay.
It's one we've been trying to work on it. Let's I want to start off with this. We'll get into your background and your history and what you believe in a minute, but why run for this race?
Because the people of the 5th District and of Louisiana need true American first conservative representation. They need someone who's got the intestinal fortitude to stand up to the career politicians, self-serving politicians, the people who have turned their back on Louisiana. And we need to take our state back, our country back, and turn this place around and make it with the Christian values and just have some true representation in Congress.
Where are we lacking in that front? Where were a few of the areas that you think are?
Well, I can tell you, we are lacking because we've got a bunch of self-serving career politicians in the offices. I mean, you look at one of the candidates that, in this race, there's 150 miles from the district. He don't come to the district. He don't live in the district. He don't know the people in the district. Yet he wants to come in and represent the district. He can't represent the district because he don't know anybody or anything, no concerns, none of their worries, what their desires or anything. He can't represent anything. He is just a self-serving career politician who's more worried about his wallet and his billfold and his retirement instead of worrying about the people of Louisiana. He's an arrogant son of a gun.
Wow. Okay. We try to keep it to issues and who you are.
Yeah.
We want to do that to be certain. And because otherwise we go down a rabbit hole where you're going to put me in a position where I'm arguing for other people.
Yeah.
So let's keep it with Dr. Wyatt. And when it comes to issues, let's stick with that. What are a few of your top issues?
Let me tell you, we have got to get some physical responsibility in Congress. We have got to rein in this $40 trillion budget. We have got to make sure that in the state of Louisiana, we have people just like the other candidates who are supporting carbon capture sequestration, who are supporting eminent domain, where they go and force.
No, sir. And what?
Go
Continue.
Yeah, where they're actually voting to support, taking people's property to give it to the companies for their pipelines and stuff. And you just can't do that. I mean, let the people vote. That's my whole deal. Let the people vote in the district who wants to actually who wants to sell their property or lease their property. But eminent domain and the carbon capture, that's a bad situation.
Okay. Well, that's one where I literally just did a segment on the misinformation that's out there about eminent domain, and specifically when it comes to carbon capture. It's one of my soapboxes, and I'm not going to
go ahead.
Well, I would check. Where is there eminent domain when it comes to carbon capture? What case are you citing?
Well, I'm citing some legislation that was passed in Louisiana where they're using eminent domain to try to take people's property for their pipelines. Yeah. It's
off the air. Once we're done, I want you to point me back to that legislation specifically so I can do my homework on it. Eminent domain is not a thing. Carbon capture is such a tiny injection piece.
Well, the thing is, it's so deadly.
I'm sorry. If it were deadly, I wouldn't be able to sit in the same room where people are exhaling.
Right.
It's carbon dioxide.
Right. If you put your mouth on a tailpipe, it'll kill you.
That's carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
That's a different thing altogether.
Right. But carbon dioxide, let me tell you, when it liquefies, it literally goes into a transition into the makeup of that carbon. It literally, I mean, there's a lot of research out there about
We've been doing this for 50 years. When we pull oil out of the ground, we've been putting this super liquid, I think, or super liquefied, putting it right back under the ground. It's one where I'm sorry, I don't want to get down into an overall argument on any one particular issue, because we're trying to give a forum for you to put it out there. I don't want to fight back and forth, because this is one. No, this is one where like we see the information and misinformation get out there, and people play Chicken Little, and jobs go elsewhere, and it's one that's frustrating. Let's walk down another path.
Sure, but we got to have safety and security. You know, we have to make sure that our Second Amendment rights are protected.
Okay.
That we have the people have a right to protect their home, their families, their neighbors, and you know, by this red flag laws that we have, they are extremely dangerous. Just because somebody thinks you may not be healthy or whatever, they need to make sure we have a medical professional make that diagnosis, and not some guy who just makes, you know, they get mad or file some court stuff or whatever. We have got to protect the Second Amendment rights. We've got to protect our border. We got to make sure, look, Donald Trump has done a phenomenal job securing our border, but we've got to make sure we have people in place who will continue to secure our border, and those who are illegally in our country, we've got to get them out of our country. And they do not look, the Constitution is for American citizens. If you're not American, you're here illegally, you're not protected by the Constitution of the United States, because you're a criminal. When you violate the law and you come here, you are a criminal.
We got Sammy Wyatt, and with us, Dr. Sammy Wyatt is running for the 5th Congressional District. This isn't your first foray into getting out there. You've made your voice heard before.
Yes, sir.
You're going back at it again, and the district has changed a good bit. Does the makeup of the district affect your approach or your platform?
No, because, you know, look, the people in the 5th district are like the people in Louisiana, all over Louisiana. We're sick and tired of people, the elected officials on all levels, not just this congressional level, the Senate, the House. Look, the local governments. You know, we elect people, and then once they take office, you cannot get anybody to return a text message, an email, a phone call. They forget you until it's election time. Then they want your money, and then they want your support, and they want you to vote for them. And then after you vote for them, you don't hear from them again. I'm a everyday guy. I work for a living. I wasn't born with a spoon in my mouth and a lot of money. I have worked and earned everything I have, and by the blessings of Almighty God, I'm very fortunate, and I had a wonderful family to teach me. And I'm just here for the people. I'm here for their concerns, to address their concerns and fight for them.
The makeup of this district is very much different than it used to be. We've seen this with the congressional map that may or may not be here when it's time for the 5th to run for re-election, but it might be a little bit different next time around. What have you seen within the district that you've taken note of?
Just the frustration of everyone and how they're struggling. How the economy is still suffering that was created under Joe Biden, what I call the Bidenomics. You know, President Trump's done a really good job, but it's not trickled down enough to the people, everyday working people yet. So, you know, the economy is so high. I mean, our cost of living is so high, and we've got to do something to bring it down. Mortgage rates are high. We've got to make sure we bring the mortgage rates down back to where they were, instead of being so. I think they were up to almost 8% under Joe Biden, and now they're back. They're dropping, but just taking forever to do it.
If I'm doing this off memory, so give me a minute, because it's been a minute since you've been in here.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm doing this off of memory. Last time we talked, if I'm recalling right, you were a big supporter of what the intent was, because it was before Elon Musk got in there full Doge, the whole thing.
Oh, yes, sir.
You were a big supporter of what the intent was. Give me your report card after of how they did, because I mean, if cutting down the cost of government is a big thing, then that's a good example of. Tell me how they did.
Well, the Doge program, it was that President Trump enacted. It was phenomenal. And what they have saved billions of dollars already by exposing the fraud, waste, and abuse. I investigate fraud, waste, and abuse for a living. That's what I do. I'm a certified fraud examiner, retired law enforcement officer. I'm certified in compliance and ethics in many different ways. And what they did was just a skim of the surface. Unfortunately, when they brought the vote to the Senate to codify the Doge program, Bill Cassidy and several others voted against it, not to codify it and make it a real deal, and all it's going to do is completely expose fraud, waste, and abuse, money being shipped to fraudulent shell companies, fraudulent organizations that are being funneled back. It's a waste of money.
Yeah.
And we have got to expose everything we can, and we've got to get Doge, not only in the United States, we have to have a real Doge here in Louisiana.
So I would think one of the arguments that in looking back on Doge, it was too wide sweeping and not surgical enough.
You have got to be surgical. I tell everybody, I'm not a medical physician. I have a PhD in human resource education, but I can be very surgical if I need to, because I know exactly where to look, what to look for, and how to look for it.
Knowing what to look for and how to look for it is one part of this.
Right.
If you're running for Congress, you're going to be one of 435, and then there's going to be another 100 on the other side of the building over there. How do you take finding the fraud, waste, and abuse and translating it to making sure you can have enough votes? Because look, running for Congress is about teamwork, man.
Right.
It's about not
100%.
just convincing voters to vote for you, but convincing other Congress people to hop on board with your issues as well.
Well, and the thing is, I can't do anything by myself. At anything, I can't get elected by myself. I have to have the will of the people. I have to truly represent the people and have their vote. If I am elected, which I have 100% confidence in this position, I have to have the support of the members of Congress to get legislation passed and to be assigned to the proper committees to be able to do these things. I have to be able to work with both sides of the aisle. Now, I'm not going to give up any of the strong beliefs of the people of Louisiana and what they want and their desires, but I have to be able to work with the other congressmen to get legislation passed. But you have to stand up for what is right. You have to stand up for your beliefs and what the people want. And that's the entire deal about this. See, I'm not worried about endorsements. I'm not worried about who does and who does not support me. I'm worried about the people of Louisiana, because that's the only endorsement I want.
We got 1 minute left with Sammy Wyatt. He is running for Congress in the 5th Congressional District. Talk to me a little bit about the geography of the district, because I think it's important that whoever represents the 5th understands the 5th.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a lot of rural activity, a lot of rural development. We have big populations in the Monroe area, bigger population in Baton Rouge, but we only carve out a part of Baton Rouge. We have a lot of farmers, a lot of industry in Louisiana in the 5th district, and we have to make sure we're representing all of the 5th district, all the way from Monroe, Louisiana, carve out to all it goes down to Baton Rouge, over to Mississippi line and Bogalusa and everything, Hammond and everywhere.
Where can folks find you online if they want to learn more about your campaign?
SammyWyatt.com. You can follow me on X at Dr. Sammy Wyatt, and on Facebook at Dr. Sammy Wyatt on Facebook.
He is Dr. Sammy Wyatt, running in the 5th. It's on, y'all. It's going to be the wild, wild west for the next 90 plus days. Dr. Wyatt, thank you so much.
Thank you.
850 at Talk 107.3 FM. Your last chance to get in for a free king cake is during this break right now, because we're drawing a winner when we come back. I'm sorry. My thing locked up, so I thought I was 10 seconds ahead of where I was. I'm sorry. 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds, I would have been gold.
Show me what you're looking at on the
Dr. Greg Upton at LSU was a big proponent of it, and this is something he studied his entire life.
Yeah.
This is something where when I walked in, I was in the same place you were. With it, I don't understand it, so it frightens me. But the more I learn about it, the more I learn that for years and years and years, that slurry we put back in,
I knew that.
It's the same shit that we're doing now, or the same shit they want to do now, just without pulling out the oil. And as far as the eminent domain is concerned, who is the state legislator from Western Central Louisiana? Oh shit, I'm gonna forget his name.
I'm so
well, oh God, he's around Pineville, where the Army where
Leesville is.
So his main fear is based off of how the government.
Oh yeah,
his main Always. You want to talk about piss and vinegar about a bucket? Dr. Wyatt, he's a firecracker, isn't he? All right, look,
he is something else.
I do my best not to argue with candidates. This is their platform. I'm going to give them 12 minutes to run.
I know.
Oh, he just suckered me right into that, though.
And then when we had to kill the mites on Facebook, Matt is mad, Patrick is mad, everybody's mad that we had to kill the mites.
Hindsight being 2020, we probably should have left them open.
Oh yeah.
So look, Dr. Wyatt knows full well what a huge uphill battle it is to take this on, right? He knows that going in. He knows he's the lone voice of the force, whatever you want to call it. But that's when you know someone's passionate about their actual beliefs, right?
Oh, he's passionate.
So, yeah. It's just the beginning, y'all. We're going to talk to all the candidates all the way through. All right, we got, what, a minute and a half before we get out of here?
A minute and a half. We got to give away our very last king cake.
Very last king cake. We're giving it away. Who is our winner?
Heather Hebron from Baton Rouge.
Heather Hebron.
Yep, Hebron. Heather Hebron.
All right, we will be in contact with Heather to go pick up a king cake from Mathern's at Kenilworth. Mathern's at Kenilworth. You're going to see the whole display over there. You're getting a Mathern's king cake, which they bake daily at all 3 locations. But you got to go to the Kenilworth location to pick yours up. Congratulations, Heather. Congratulations to everybody. We gave away a king cake every Thursday throughout February. So,
yep.
And not a moment too soon to finish this king cake season. It's been too much.
I say finish it before Tuesday, because after Tuesday,
too much. Yeah, no, I know. And after Tuesday, it goes away until the next carnival season.
Yep.
But and it's going to be a long time. Well, no, next year's Mardi Gras is early too. But
again,
well, it's going to be a long time until January 6th because Mardi Gras is early.
Yep.
But man, we went too far too fast with the king cakes this year.
I'm
ready to shelve them. Maybe one more over the course of the weekend. In fact,
I think I'm done, Brian. I think I'm done. I think I'm ready for shellfish.
You're not done until the boxes in your kitchen are empty. So
very true. And I got 3 of them still.
All right, we're out of here, y'all. We will be back at it tomorrow. One word tease for tomorrow's show. Rocco. Moon Graffon's up next. We'll see you later on Talk 107.3 FM. All right, guys. I don't know how much I can give you off of what happened during the break, but Jesus, I don't like arguing with candidates. That's not my shtick. I want to provide them with a platform, but that fucker wanted to fight.
Well, so he sat down and I saw your face. So I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And you politely.
Well, I literally just got done talking carbon sequestration. And I will bring on scientist after scientist after scientist, people who dedicate their lives and livelihoods to this, that will tell you one thing, and then it's, no, I read this on the internet. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Brian, you were very polite. You were like, we're not going to go there.
Yeah. And then I went there.
You were polite.
And then I went there. So.
And then you still went there. Yeah. And off the mic, you still went there, which Patrick and Matt are pissed.
It was worth it.
I'm sorry, Matt and Patrick.
We also had a little talk about campaign tactics. You're gonna what did he call Blake Miguez? Was it a hypocrite? Was it a hypocrite, a coward? What did he call him?
I don't know. He straight up loud capped him.
He never said Blake's name, but Blake's the only one living that far out the district, so we all know who he was talking about. But bro, that's not like, I don't know. I'm not going to tell him how to run his campaign as an outsider. I don't know that there's a right way to run a campaign as an outsider. But, I mean, just coming in haymaker after haymaker.
Well, he walked in and he's like, do y'all have a water? I said, yeah, I'll get you one. Just sit down because we're on the air. And before I could even get back with this man's water, he was coming in hot and swinging.
Yeah, barely drinking the water, pouring it over his head like a marathon runner, like a boxer in between rounds. Here's the thing, though. Like, he's hard not to like. Easy to disagree with, hard not to like.
He's a pleasant person.
Yeah. So, all right. God, I hope that sets the tone. We gotta run this shit all the way through election day.
Troy Villa, you saw that?
No, I'm not even into Facebook yet. My text messages fucking blew up.
Over this man.
All right, shout out Corey. Oh god, that was so good. I might give Sammy a weekly segment. Early voting. Yeah, we got you.
All right, let's get off Facebook.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just catching up. I got like 4 more texts to get through.
Bye, Facebook.
We'll see y'all tomorrow.